still want me? I sound just like a broken record. I just wanna know if you're still.
Good morning and good afternoon, should I say, and welcome to Racing Unleashed. We are back for the final spring event here of the 2024 season before our championship begins in September with round one coming later this year. I'm your host, Matthew Duffy, bringing you all the action here from the final spring event at Road America. It's going to be a fantastic day with fantastic prizes in store for all of the drivers out there, Challenge League and Race League drivers who will get to take to the tracks today in Formula 3 and Formula 1 cars. We'll get into the track explanation and the details of the racing a little later on. It is going to be a fantastic day's worth of racing for all of these drivers, and we're going to see some brilliant action around this Road America race circuit here. And like we say, fantastic prizes in store. We have got a great day of racing, and like we say, at Road America, it is the Challenge League drivers that will get a 30-minute race in the Formula 3 cars, and the Race League drivers will get 40 minutes in the Formula 1 car later on. New drivers on the grid, returning faces. Obviously, this is the in sort of the Racing Unleashed lounges where this will take place. This is huge for these drivers. We're going to see the simulators back on. It is not everybody from home on their iRacing as we saw last time out. It is back to the simulators at the racing lounges, and here is one of the shots from the Zurich Airport lounge, and that is a driver who is visualizing the circuit and is looking forward to getting this one underway. Live camera shots, and as you can see from our Zurich Airport lounge, great to see a lot of the drivers and a lot of people in the audience watching on as well. There, I believe, is Yannick Pletcher, who will be looking to go, the current Challenger League champion, and a wave there from our Racing Unleashed colleagues, all looking forward to this race. There's our sporting director as well. There is Fabio, who's got a great smile on his face. Everybody's looking forward to this. This is the lounge in Munich. They are live and looking forward to that, to this race. The lounge, always so peaceful in Munich. Everybody just raring to go. There is Madrid. They're all having a quick driver briefing there just to go through a few things before the start of today's action. And we also have our racing lounge in Calm as well. That will be bringing you some drivers with us on the grid today. We only see little drivers from them in terms of numbers, so hopefully you get to see a couple of them, their boys out here in this one today. It's going to be an absolutely fantastic event, cracking race all round. This should be for these guys and girls out there in today's show. Spring Event 3 then, so this brings the end to the Spring Event. Obviously, this is not a part of the Road to Ascari. That finished last time out with the esports event, and what an event that was as we went through 3 fantastic races with 8 of the world's best sim drivers in a fantastic event where they got a chance to join a few of our own drivers at the Ascari track day. We'll bring you a few clips of that a little later on as well. That's going to be interesting to see what we get to look at there from the track day at the Ascari circuit. Today's prize is a track day at the Red Bull Ring, so it's going to be fascinating to see what the drivers and which drivers will get to compete there. It'll be the top 3 from Challenger League and the top 3 from the Racer League race who will get to compete for that fantastic prize as well. So it's going to be a great chance for drivers to get some more real track experience. And as we saw last year, Siro Zambra, one of the many drivers who got some real track experience outside of Racing Unleashed, so he'll be looking to add a little more to his roster of track experience that he has in the real world. Excuse me. Yeah, fantastic day of action this is going to be. And this is all just before the season starts in September, which should be an absolute belter. We are looking forward to this season getting underway, and it is really going to be an interesting sort of look at what drivers are going to be doing, what the training and preparation they've had in these simulators. And I've seen a name already on the Challenger League driver list who has done a few of the iRacing events here with us, and we're seeing him in these simulators for the first time in action in terms of a real competitive race. So this is going to be interesting to see what that driver can do, and we'll let you see if you can guess it later on in the program when we get to see the Challenger League drivers take the track. The Challenger League drivers will be on first. We're going to get both races done today. 2 qualifyings, traditional qualifying formats, followed by, like we said, the 30-minute Challenger League race and the 40-minute Racer League race. One thing to mention is that there will be the top 10 from Challenger League will get to take part in that Racer League race with the Formula 1 cars as well. So it should be fantastic to see all these drivers take to the circuit a little later on. And the challenge is going to be very difficult between the two as well, to see if them boys can adjust to the track conditions out there, and which cars they are also in as well. It's going to be fantastic to see what they can do a little later on. But I believe we can now look at the explainer for today's race. Or maybe not got words yet in my ear. If there is, we can. So we are at Road America for today's circuit, located in Wisconsin, the United States of America. It opened in 1985. There is 3 big sectors here. The first one, a lot of straights involved and a lot of chances to see these drivers slipstream each other in the race. A chance to get some places later on. Maybe a bit of strategy will come into this then as you come then up the hill, and then as it flattens out towards turn 1, you have to pick up your braking zone here in the Formula 3 car. On board, he brakes into turn 1. Not that much of a heavy braking zone. Find the apex. Try not to use a lot of the runoff on the outside. Track limits all the grey curbs. You come through then into turn 2, which will then bring you again down this long straight before you find turn 3. A great chance for some overtaking manoeuvres. Maybe a chance to look up the inside and have a little dive bomb. Into turn 3, one of the heavier braking zones at this circuit. Try not to run too wide as you come back uphill then towards turn 4, a corner that can really catch you out. Pick your braking point as you kind of blind on entry. Out the corner, back across the left, through turn 5 you go. And now into a pretty difficult section of the circuit as well. We come towards the carousel, as it's called. And this could be a corner where we see a few incidents, especially in that dirty air and the turbulence from the car in front of you. You've got to really be careful on the throttle there, not to be too greedy, or the rear will come around. Flat right-hander, you flick through now, barely even feel that corner, and then you come down once again using that potential slipstream. It does curve from left to right slightly, and then you have to find the brakes in towards the bottom end of the circuit. Easy to run deep and wide at this part of the track. You then slowly climb uphill, little right hand bend into the left, and then you find this final corner where it could be doom and gloom. Maybe not a few overtakes will happen in there because you're probably going to want that slipstream all the way uphill, and over the line towards turn 1 is where you will need to go if you are to set a good lap around this Road America circuit. It is 4 miles long, 6.5 kilometers in length. So it's going to be absolutely crucial to see what the drivers can do around here today. It will be vital to see if they are able to progress well in qualifying. And we have, I believe, the entry list for the Challenger League drivers today. It is Simon Benoit in will be in there. Jason Blysick is second place. Elliot Shaw, Brit on the grid. Great to see there. Borges Arzo, as well as Bueno in fifth. Adrian Gomez, sixth place. I don't believe this is a grid order. This is just the order of, this is just driver's list. Who's here? Roberto Miguez, Tyler Klausch, Simon Demori, Antonio Rivoli. Tim Bellicki will be with us today. That's great to see him from the iRacing Series come across. Mohamed Ramsey, great to see him back. Mario Stanic, Timothy Spearson. Matteo Strobach, apologies if I've mispronounced that one. Kevin Gelly will be with us as well. Fabian Spice, again, apologies if I've butchered that name. I will be told in here if I have. Lorenzo Hayder, Tim Portsmatter, and Joshua Hayder bringing up the 20 drivers to take part, and 10 of them drivers will get the opportunity to race in that Racer League event as well. So it's going to be fantastic to see a few of them drivers take to the circuit in the Racer League. I'm just looking to the left-hand side of me now, and I can just see that we are getting ready for, I believe, possibly a practice session for these drivers to get underway and get a chance to get some track time in these Formula 3 cars as we are getting into qualifying. We can, though, take a look at a public giveaway that we are doing here at Racing Unleashed. It is a chance to win three times 10 laps, so 30 laps effectively in total. All you have to do is go over to our Instagram, go to Racing Unleashed main page, register and win a chance of a Formula 4 experience day at the Red Bull Ring. Follow the Racing Unleashed channel, follow the other Racing Unleashed channel, the Switzerland one, the Spanish one, and the German one, the Madrid, Munich and Zurich one, for a chance to win this fantastic prize. Register, enter, read what it says, do what it says, and you can be in with a shout of winning this fantastic prize of a chance to get 3 lots of 10 laps around the Red Bull Ring. It is a great prize and a great giveaway, and you will not want to miss out on that opportunity of winning such a prize that is on store here by the Racing Unleashed company, ready for you to get the chance to have a go on circuit. Come on, Tim, solid qualifying, says his brother in the circuit, in the chat as well. Gonna enter that giveaway, says Lewis Bellicki right now. Who knows? Who knows, Lewis? It could go anybody's way. Let's go Siro in the chat, as well as Adriano saying a few supports for a few drivers in there as well. So it's great to see some support. And we are going to take a look on the circuit now. Here is Simon, who's out there on the track right now at the moment. And this, I believe, is the qualifying session then. It's going to be interesting to see whose name will appear first. Now, crucial for the drivers to not ruin theirs and other drivers' lap, to get that gap. You need that bit of a gap between yourselves and the other drivers to really give yourself the best opportunity at the best lap here. You do not want to mistake. You do not want to ruin yourself and ruin another driver's lap. So crucial that these drivers give each other the space and the respect that is required. That would be, excuse me, the key for these cars here. And you just see just a couple of seconds, not too much, maybe enough that you just feel a little bit of slipstream down the straights. And so Simon just starts his lap now. Going to be interesting to see who does what in this qualifying session then. I believe Mohamed Ramsey is the car that is the first one on a flying lap. So this is going to be very, very fascinating to see which driver does what. And Simon immediately pulling onto the grass and not happy with his lap, already moving out of a driver's way and letting him go for another run. Tim Bellicki here then coming in towards the final part of the circuit. It's going to be interesting to see how he does now in our simulators in the racing lounges. He was in Munich. So it's going to be fascinating to see what he can do. Little wiggle coming through the final part of the track. And to identify to the viewers at home as well which lounge is which. You see the pink number and the pink T-bar on his car. That means he's in Munich for Kevin Gelly here. He is racing in the light blue number on the front and the T-bar. That means he is in Zurich, and yellow represents Madrid. So what that means is that will identify to you which lounge they are in. The colour of their simulator they are in is represented by the stripe down the side of the car, as well as the front wing being red and the rear wing being red on Kevin's car there. That represents he's in the red simulator in the Zurich lounge. Lap times coming in. Mohamed Ramsey, a 1:50.8. He is 1/1000th of a second quicker than Timothy Spearson, and Tyler Klausch 1500,000ths of a second just behind him. Lorenzo Hayder's currently P4 from Roberto Miguez. And here is Mohamed Ramsey, then your current pole sitter. We got to speak with him last year. He got a race win in the green simulator at Munich in the Formula 3 car. So this is going to be interesting to see as he comes down the hill. Comes a little wide there. And with it being 1:50 a lap, it's a long lap, so it's not a lot of time to get a lot of qualifying laps in. You really need to make sure you get a good lap in. If you look at the likes of Simon de Mori, 55 seconds currently off the pace. That is not where he wants to be at all. So he has got some work to do. Here is Kevin, still just staying out of driver's way, being patient, possibly seat time for him, registering for this event. Depends on the seat time he's had as to whether or not he'll feel 100% comfortable. For drivers like Tyler Klausch, they've been in the simulators, they know what to do. They will know exactly what they need to do and what these simulators will do as well. So it is going to be crucial for these drivers to make sure that they are not in other drivers' ways. You see there another driver pulled off to the side, but also so that they are able to get the track time in ahead of this half-an-hour race. And that is Mario Stanic, who's now gone pole by 28,000ths of a second. Tyler Klausch improves to P2, 23,000ths. Joshua Hader moves up into third place as well. So a few qualifying laps coming in here then as we come into the dying moments of this qualifying session. On board with Simon in the Ella simulator, as you see there. Coming up towards the final sector now, sorry, the final couple of corners now. Down 1-2 gears, runs it out a little wide. Got chance for 2 more runs here he has, if he can get there. Simon de Mori now goes provisional pole, 3,000ths of a second from Mario Stanic, so he is absolutely doing bits at the moment. Here is the pole sitter in Munich. And Simon de Mori tearing it up in the Formula 3 car. And we saw the Formula 3 car back at Misano 2 months ago for the Road to Ascari race. Mugello, sorry. De Mori down the hill in towards turn 3. Uses the runoff as much as he can. Lorenzo Hayder now, one of the Hayder brothers. Passionate drivers are these two young men, coming through the carousel as it's known in towards the most American thing ever, turn 11 and then 11A. Only the American circuits will put turn 11 and then turn 11A straight after. Unsure why, but Lorenzo Hayder doing his best. Mohamed Ramsey goes back to pole. Timothy Spearson moves up into P4. So drivers constantly changing their positions and improving their lap times at the moment. 15 seconds currently separating the top 20. Tyler Klausch now goes pole by 3,000ths of a second. Joshua Hader moves up to 6th. And Lorenzo Hayder's tumbled down to 9th place. But we're watching Lorenzo here on his lap at the moment. Rivoli moves up to 9th place now. Here comes Lorenzo Hayder. Towards the line he comes. Will it be an improvement as he crosses the line? Now stays P10 currently. Jason down the order moves up, drops down to 19th place. Elliott Shaw, I believe, went up to 14th there. And Lorenzo Hayder stays where he is. Here's his brother Joshua. As Simon de Mori goes back provisional pole. And it is a 1/10 of a second separating the top, I believe that's the top 8-9 drivers is separated by a 1/10 of a second. So that is absolutely extraordinary so far. And it is Simon de Mori who is leading the way. Here's Joshua Hader. Nice and easy on the brakes. Car runs wide, stays off the circuit. Nicely done there. We get the drone footage now following him through the carousel. As Joshua looks to move up the order once again. He's currently P6, only needs half a tenth. And that'll put him up a couple more places here. I love watching the Hayter brothers, love seeing their emotions in the cockpit. So emotional as he gets a bit of a snap coming into the bottom end of the circuit. That's going to have cost him a bit of time there. And he will possibly get the chance at one more run. And it will be very, very slight towards the line. I think he's going to get it just about. Yes, he does, with 5 seconds to spare, and he did not improve at the very end. So we come to the end of qualifying now. And who's the next driver to finish a lap? Borja Zarzo, down in 18th place, 2 seconds off the pace at the minute for Borja Zarzo. We've not seen Borja on the top step of the podium here in the Racing Unleashed events, especially in Lounge, since the prologue a year ago, back in April. He's now 2 seconds off the lead, down in P20. Borja Zarzo will finish qualifying. What's it going to be as he comes to the line now? Can he improve on his time? He does, and he moves up into 13th place. Next driver to cross line. There was somebody in front of him as well who moved up the order. Simon de Mori has improved yet again. He's improved. He's found a bit of time there, to be fair. Simon, Tyler Klausch has backed out. So he will not be going for pole. Tim Bellicki then. He is pushing the car hard. A little wiggle, possibly a little bit too much curve there. There's also a car off on the grass. Tim Bellicki really pushing the limits here. You just see him wiggling through the corners, now into the carousel. Took some prize money home with him in the iRacing event a few weeks ago. Comes now into the final few corners here. For Tim, what can he do? Simon de Mori found 9/10 of a second on his last fastest lap. Tim Bellicki, round she goes. Too much speed on entry and into the wall. That's going to ruin his last lap of qualifying. That's a shame for Tim. Oh, and there's another driver around. Probably just too much corner entry once again. As Tim Portmatter into the pit lane. He's done. Simon de Mori then. Did he get one more flying lap in? Well, that is the end of qualifying, so I believe he didn't. But he will be your pole sitter. Simon de Mori, great chance for him now. The drivers will have a short few minutes before their chance of getting started in this 30-minute race. And this is going to be fantastic to see what Simon de Mori can do from that pole position on the grid. The drivers will be preparing now to be put into the correct grid spaces as we get into this 30-minute race here. And the chance to win, like we said, a fantastic prize of a track day at the Red Bull Ring. And for the Challenger League drivers, it is a chance really to get some real seat time in the real world. And this is what Racing Unleashed tries to encourage drivers to get that seat time in the real world and be able to take that experience with them going forward into what could potentially be a decent career outside of the sim world. For the Challenge League, sorry, I believe just got a message in my ear. I don't know if we can repeat that. Struggling to hear in my ear from our producer. Right. Okay, no problem. So for the Challenger League drivers, I have it here in front of me. The winner of the Challenger League race today will get 20 laps in a Formula 4 car around the south track of the Red Bull Ring. Second place in the Challenger League today will get to drive a Porsche 718 Cayman GT4 That is a lead and follow session. That'll be two 20-minute sessions for them. And for third place, they'll get to drive the KTM Crossbow at the Training Driving Centre and on the Formula One track. So great prizes for all of these drivers, for the top three in particular, and then the top three for Race League. Their prizes are same cars, different sort of format that they'll get for them, but we'll get into that as we get towards the Racer League a little later on in the programme. So 20 laps in a Formula 4 car around the South Circuit for the winner of today's event will be absolutely fantastic for these drivers to just get that seat time again as well in the Porsche Cayman and in the KTM Crossbow. It's going to be an absolutely belter of an event to see, and that hopefully we'll get some pictures and images to show you then come September when the championship rolls around and we can look back on these events and see what these drivers can do. And we can see the winning clip of the esports event from last month. Apologies, it wasn't from the esports event last time out. It is the expo that you can drive, the crossbow that you can drive at the Red Bull Ring in, well, what these drivers can get the opportunity to win today if they get on that podium. And that will be for the driver who finishes third place in the Challenger League. So it's going to be an interesting one for them drivers to get their hands on the steering wheel and get behind the wheel of the KTM there then. And what a circuit as well, the Red Bull Ring. Fantastic circuit to go around and to get some track experience at. It's going to be a brilliant time for these drivers, I'm sure. And I'm sure they had a great time at Ascari for the winners of the previous Road to Ascari events. And we are a couple of moments away now from the first race today. And it will be a 30-minute race here at Road America. Simon Mori is your pole sitter. And race control will be in full effect, making sure that the racers are above board. So let's not forget, for these Challenger League drivers, because we're going straight in pretty much to a Racer League race after, the Challenge League and the Racer League results will all be provisional. And for you, the viewer at home, if you want to keep up to date with who has won these events, make sure you head over to our social media, Twitter and Instagram, as well as TikTok as well, to keep up to date with who has done what. But they will all be provisional results unless we are told that they are fully confirmed in our ear. So unless we get that message, it will all be provisional results today. The only thing that will be guaranteed is that of qualifying in this one, in which Simon Mori has taken that pole position for. So a great day for these drivers. Once again, 20 laps in a Formula 4 car around the South track. That is for the race winner. It'll be a Porsche 718 Cayman GT4. That'll be for second place. And the KTM Crossbow training at the driving centre and F1 track for third place. So great prizes on store for the top three in this race. Let's see what we can do here then. Let's see what the racing is going to bring, because the last time we had some Formula 3 action, it was fantastic to see for the Road to Ascari Race 1. And it was brilliant sort of less power, less aerodynamics, but without that push to pass, it was pure racing. It was real wheel-to-wheel racing, and the drivers really had to use the strategy when to push, when not to push, and use that slipstream wisely as they managed to tackle the circuit on the Road to Ascari Race 1. And we saw as well in the esports event that it was interesting to see the Formula 3 cars in the esports drivers' hands and what they got to do with the cars, and that was a fascinating and enjoyable event as well. It was rather interesting to see the pros really take to grips with our simulators and get to see what they can do as well. So a couple of moments now away from the first race of the afternoon, and this is going to be an interesting 30-minute race here for this one. And we'll get to speak with the top three after the race as well. We are just being told that we are waiting for a new entry list for the grid order. And and then we can have a look. But what we can do is we can have a look back at Ascari.
Yeah, we're in the south of Spain, where 6 of our drivers won a golden ticket for a track day.
It's a lovely trip. It's a mini holiday. We get to drive race cars.
I'm here to have a lot of fun, definitely, and enjoy this. It's like once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
I'm trying to enjoy all the day and try not to die.
Very exciting. I mean, look at the track, look at the landscape, it's amazing. So it's a very awesome feeling.
As a sim racer, you full push immediately. You go over the limit. In real life, you rather find the limit.
We believe that the next big stars, they come from sim racing.
So moments away from the race, and it was great to see the pictures and the footage from Ascari, and great to see a bit of what the drivers got up to there. Fabio Vettiger, obviously, they're looking after the drivers, the 3 esports drivers that took the golden ticket, if you will, to Ascari, and the 3 Racing Unleashed drivers who got there 2 months ago. And 2 months ago feels like forever since we did the first spring event, and this is the final one of the day. Just getting ready to get onto the grid, and we'll bring you the qualifying, the grid order list for the drivers momentarily. These are live shots from our Zurich Airport lounge of the drivers sat in the simulators, getting ready to go and being prepared on the job they now have to do as the lights dim in the lounge. But I'm sure that the atmosphere will be electric for all these drivers who are going to take to the grid. And it's going to be an interesting day to see some emotion from these drivers, as well as absolute great racing. Regular faces as well as new faces out there on the grid. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in this race. We are moments away from being on the grid and getting the chance to get into the race. We'll bring you the grid order as soon as we are able to. But the drivers are absolutely revved up for this one. This is the starting grid then for the race. Simon de Mori, P1, alongside Matteo Strobach. No, sorry, that's P11. Simon de Mori, P1, alongside Tyler Klausch. Mohamed Ramsey is P3 with Mario Stanic, P4. Adrian Gomez, 5th place with Timothy Spearson in 6th. 7th place for Joshua Hader alongside Roberto Miguez. P9 is Lorenzo Hader and Antonio Rivoli. 11th is Matteo Strobach. In P12 is Juanero Bero. Apologies if I've butchered that name again. Borges Arzo, P13. Fabian Spice will be P14. Tim Portsmadder in 15th place. Jason Blasig is 16th. Tim Bellicky, 17th place. Kevin Galley is 18th place. Elliot Shaw, P19. And Simon Benoit bringing up the rear in 20th place. The cars are all lined up on the grid, and we are about to go racing for the first time today here in the Challenger League for that amazing prize and for this amazing opportunity of getting the track day at the Red Bull Ring. Will the drivers be able to get a good start? Who is going to do what then here in Wisconsin, America? As we can hear the revs rising on the grid, and we just await the lights on screen to show us when it will be time to go. Strange for an American circuit to have a standing start, which is very bizarre because you don't really see the grid boxes on the American circuits. Normally the rolling starts here in IndyCar and American GT, and yeah, interesting to see the standing start from this perspective, but it all goes quiet. There'll be 16 laps. Let's just come up on screen there. That is the time of the 30-minute race. You hear the odd rev from the drivers. Let's go Team Hayder in the chat. And there's just a hush and a bit of a buzz around this starting grid as we await the lights. Here in America. Interesting to see, and I tell you what's very interesting is down at the back of the grid, they're kind of coming over a bit of a hill, so they're not possibly going to see if a driver out front has got the worst start on the front couple of rows. It's going to be fascinating to see. The lights are on screen now, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And for the first time today in the Challenger League, it is green and go here at Road America. Looks a great start from row 3 as one of the drivers from Munich looks to try and come through the middle of the pack, I believe that was. He was definitely in a red simulator. And carnage already on the start line before we've even got to the first braking zone. Joshua Hayden now as a car in front of him has a little wiggle. There's more dramas in the background, 2 of them off, backwards into the wall. Antonio Rivoli, one of them. Timothy Spearson managing to gain a couple of places off the start line. And it isn't doom and gloom for these drivers yet. They can still come back in this race. But it is a great start for Simon Mori, Tyler Klausch, Mario Stanic, as here comes Spearson being attacked by Joshua Hayden. And now Mario Stanic looking to the outside of that of Tyler Klausch. Round turn 3, he's not going to get it done there and has to yield that place back. So it's P3 for Stanic already in this race. Fabian Spies here already looking to the outside of turn 4. That will be on, I believe, Bueno. And it's Rivoli, and it was Lorenzo Hayder who was backwards at turn 1 as well. So not the best of starts here in the Assetto Corsa League. It's Fabian then up the inside, little wiggle from him. Can do nothing about that. Manages to hold on to it, doesn't make the move done though. Tyler Klausch out in second place. Currently giving it all he's got. He's managed to pull away from Mario Stanic so far in P3. Mohamed Ramsey now just gaining on the back of Mario Stanic. There's a bit of a gap between Klausch and Stanic here, as Stanic has a little moment coming out the bottom end of the circuit. Holds on to it well. Simon Mori though has got a great lead at the end of this first lap, really has. Got the momentum with him after qualifying, and look at that for a lead he's already got as they climb uphill. Here's Mohamed Ramsey on board, feeling the effects of that slipstream, the double hole being punched in the air by Stanic and Klausch. And look at him just gain over Mario Stanic as he has a look into turn 1, late braking. No, thinks better of it. Stanic, though, really goes wide with that, and Mohamed Ramsey's had a moment, he's on the grass. So it's gone horribly wrong on the exit of turn 1, and Joshua Hayder, easy as you like, around the outside. And that is not what Mohamed Ramsey would have wanted to do. I believe he's also dropped behind Adrian Gomez, he has. And Tim Bellicky's now had a mistake out of turn 2. So he's dropped down the order. Mohamed Ramsey looking back up the inside of that of Adrian Gomez, who manages to get the move done. Adrian goes a little deep and now tries to squeeze Timothy Spearson. They touch wheels, and that is Gomez on the grass, loses all momentum, and Roberto Miguez will come through as well. So a lot of dramas in the Formula 3 cars already. Remember, the top 10 from this will go to race the Racer League in the Formula 1 cars later on. not what he wanted. But Adrian Gomez drops down a couple of places. Mohamed Ramsey full send into turn 3 a few moments ago. But Mori has a 2.5 second lead. And Tyler Klausch trying to get on the back of Mario Stanic now then. Let's not forget, these could be some of the Challenger League drivers week in, week out, come the championship. So these could be early battles that we see later on in the year. September, the start of that. Here is Simon Benoit just having a little wiggle on the brakes. That is on the back of Elliott Shaw. All these drivers have a long way to go. We've only done 2 laps around this circuit. Simon Mori, fastest lap of the race, a 1:55.9. That now goes the way of Joshua Hader with a 1:51.0. Joshua Hader, he is absolutely fired up for this one. Here comes Jason Bleissig then. A little cautious through turn 1. Oh, just keeping that within track limits. Back down to P13. Dropped off the back of Elliott Shaw. Here's Joshua Hader, the fastest man last time around. And he's hunting down Tyler Klausch. I tell you, this man, Joshua, he could be one to watch in the Challenger League come September. As could his brother Lorenzo. All the drivers are very quick, but Joshua, a very determined young man. You've seen him stand on the top step of the podium a couple of times last season. And he'll be absolutely wanting this one. This is looking back from Tyler Klausch. There you see Joshua Hader in the background. That gap is within 0.7 of a second. Stanic has brought the gap down to Mori a couple of tenths. Nothing massive, nothing major that Mori has to worry about. Now Klausch losing out a little bit to Stanic. So now it's a lot closer under the braking. So did Stanic just have a bit of a problem coming out the corner? Here is Bueno then. Oh, Bleissig right up the rear end of Benoit, just in front. Simon Mori, a 1:50.5, fastest lap of the race. Joshua Hader doesn't answer back with anything this time around. Back from Simon's car. This is P13 and 14 at the moment. As for all these drivers who are new to the simulators as well in the lounges, this will be an interesting one for them to get a bit of track time ahead of the championship in September. Mario Stanic now coming under immense pressure from Tyler Klausch. Just having a look, showing his nose, letting Mario know that he's there. Joshua Hader's right with them as well. Mohamed Ramsey on a comeback after his mistake. And here's Bueno looking up the inside of Bleissig. Just outbrakes himself, manages to not make contact and has to yield and tuck back in behind Bleissig then. Who's had a problem. Believe that is Portsmouth. As Elliott Shaw looks really aggressive on the back of him now, trying to look each way. Oh, there's a spinner. Not quite sure who that is who's had a spin. I believe it's Rivoli. He's the one who's tumbling down the order. Tim Bellicky's had another moment as well. It is Antonio Rivoli has had a spin. He's going to struggle now to get back in this race. Lap 4 of 18. Here comes a few battles down the bottom end. Bueno looking up the inside, and this time he gets through. Great manoeuvre. Squeezes through up the inside. And he's really making this look great, nice and easy at the moment. Here's Matteo Storbach in the green simulator in the airport lounge. Look at the slipstream, pulls to the left, to the right. He's going to get this done before turn 1. He'll have to complete it on the brakes, though. There's a couple of cars side by side further forward as well. And he doesn't get it done. Bueno hangs it around the outside later on the brake, keeps it within the limits. And for Matteo now, he has to go again. into turn 2. He'll get that slipstream down towards turn 3. Was that his thinking, though? Because this, for drivers, is the interesting part. Is that the way he's thinking in this race? Down the hill they come once more. Lap 5 of 16. Ooh, looks up the inside. Can't get it done. Bueno there. Just running onto the grass. That would have cost him a bit of momentum. Luckily enough, it's not a huge straight. Again, just going onto the grass a little bit. Matteo behind, just having a bit of a loose car. Now, all of a sudden, we've got Tyler Klausch in a, Mario Stanic with a train of Klausch, Hayder and Ramsey right behind him here then. And this is an absolute fascinating one. Stanic was starting to pull away. Tyler Klausch has reeled him in Munich. Mario Stanic and the car ahead of Tyler Klausch. Cannot see Simon de Mori up front, who set another fastest lap. That is his view-ish. Back to Bueno then, down in P15. Bit of work to do at the moment. Rivoli's got back going, he is circling. And this is Bleissig, round the outside, little wiggle from the car. I believe that is Simon Benoit. Lorenzo Hayder side by side now. That is a move done up the inside of Fabian. Good move for Lorenzo Hayder, that. Absolutely fantastic. Back downhill they come. It's Simon de Mori from Mario Stanic, Tyler Klausch. It is Joshua Hayder, Mohamed Ramsey, Timothy Spearson, Roberto Miguez, Adrian Gomez, Borges Arzo, Kevin Galli rounding out your top 10. On board with Jason Bleissig, currently down in 13th place. This is the view of Roberto Miguez, P7. Bueno still has Matteo on the back of him, coming through the carousel. Matteo just can't get this move finished here. So he's still looking to get the overtake done. Mohamed Ramsey now is really close to Joshua Hayder. Joshua got past because Mohamed Ramsey made a mistake, went onto the grass. Now Mohamed Ramsey's going to try and make up for that. De Mori has checked out in this one. He is gone. Let's see the slipstream. You see the pink T-bar of the car in Munich versus the car in Zurich. Mohamed Ramsey. Joshua defends. Ramsey to the outside of turn 1. Round the outside he goes. Yes, he does. Great manoeuvre, Mohamed Ramsey. Carried more speed, carried the momentum, and through he goes. Was absolutely terrific move. Puts himself up to P4. And now he's got that of Tyler Klausch. But Joshua Hayder will not be done. Using the slipstream once again. Ramsey defends the inside going into turn 3. They nearly bang wheels. And Joshua Hayder returns the favour around the outside. Ramsey pushes him wide. And Joshua gets the move done. Ramsey went deep on the brakes and pushes Joshua Hayder wide. And for me, I think Ramsey's definitely healed that place there because he had to really. He pushed Joshua Hayder off the circuit. He didn't make the apex of the corner. Ramsey's got it all to do again here now. So Mohamed Ramsey with work to do once again. Joshua Hayder just extends a gap a little bit. This is Joshua Hayder. Breaking into the bottom end of the circuit. He's now got to try and catch Tyler Klausch. The thing is now, he needs to put pressure on Klausch and focus on catching and passing him than looking and defending from behind. Because while he's defending behind, Klausch and Stanic will just pull away. Lap 8 of 16, halfway through this race. And it is Simon de Mori, Mario Stanic, Tyler Klausch, provisionally your top three. Here's Elliott Short. He's got Tim Portsmada on the back of him. That is for 11th and 12th. So battles up and down the grid here. It'll be fascinating to see what happens in the Racer League race a little later on. Formula One calls for them with push to pass. Here is Tim Portsmada then having a little look. Elliott just defending the middle of the road. Nice and easy so far. Oh, big wiggle for Elliott. Puts him on the grass. Manages to rejoin safely, and now that's put Jason Bleissig on the outside line. Tries to get the switchback, didn't work. Now he's got to follow through the carousel. This will be interesting to watch in the dirty air. You just see him taking a wider line just to get out that dirty air a little bit, to not lose the aerodynamic performance. Now Simon's on the back of this train and on the back of Jason Bleissig. He might have a look down towards the bottom end of the circuit. I tell you what, he's going to. And he's going to go up the inside. Can he be later on the brakes? He's not as late as Jason, and Jason manages with a wiggle. No, he doesn't. Simon's going to get through now. He does indeed. Oh, then Jason's just got a tap. That was a driver, I believe, from Madrid. I think it was Bueno who tapped Jason Bleissig round. Here's Elliott Shaw, though, in Zurich. Currently P11. A couple of seconds off the back of Kevin Galli. Oh, big moment for Elliott Shaw through turn one. And that is not one, but possibly two. Is he going to hang in there? Just banging side pods. This is Bleissig's spin. That's just after the spin. Got to tap up the rear. I think he started to lose it on his own. We didn't quite see the beginning of that. Elliott Shaw, though, did lose only one place to Portsmada. Now, looking to defend now from Matteo and Simon, who are now the two cars on the rear of him. Tyler Klausch has lost out quite a bit of time out front to Mario Stanic. Joshua Hader within 8/10 of him. It's Mohamed Ramsey. Those having a very quiet race. Adrian Gomez, Berto Miguez, Borja Zarza. Not really seen them at all in this one. We're over halfway now. Lap 9 of 16. There is Strobach. Using that slipstream, he's going to be forced to the outside. Just hear him getting off the throttle a little bit there. Oh, no, no, no! Was forced to the outside. Clips the grass, brakes so late and just punts Elliott Shaw off. And for Matteo there, he lets, that's a car got past him. Who's that? That is Simon Benoit, but carried way too much speed into the braking zone. Simon's now going to show him to the outside again. This is a replay at the bottom of your screen, and bang, straight into the rear. He's got back ahead of Simon, has Matteo, but yeah, you feel the penalty's coming his way for that one. Elliott Shaw, helpless. Absolutely helpless there. Mr. Mori from Stanic, Klausch, Hader, Ramsey, Spearson, Gomez, Miguez, Borja Zarza and Kevin Galli. The top three, don't forget, for that massive prize. Simon Benoit's now going to have a look to the outside of turn 3 of Matteo, who just forces Simon a little wide. Did he get the switch back? Has he got the run up the inside he needs? Front axle to rear axle, gets on the apex, and is Simon through? This is great racing between the two. He is through. So for Matteo, he drops down a position. And that is Lorenzo Hayder, who was backwards at turn 1, lap 1, trying to come through the pack, lap 10 of 16. So Lorenzo Hayder on a comeback drive, not really going to be in this competition. But never say never, long way to go. Looking up the inside, nice move. I think a small bit of contact there. Now, was that more Benoit just turning in a little bit when Hayder was there? Ramsey's now gaining on the back of Joshua Hayder now, a little bit more. Joshua not able to get on the back of Tyler Klausch. So he's just got to try and push these last couple of laps. He'll want that podium to take the prize of a track experience at the Red Bull Ring. Here comes Mohamed Ramsey. Down into turn 3. He as well needs to get past Joshua and get a little wiggle on to get onto the back of Tyler Klausch and Mario Stanic. Simon De Mori, 5 seconds in the lead. He has checked out in this race. Likes to flag this one, but he's been good. It's been good drive from him. Been a good drive from Simon, to be fair. He's really not put a foot wrong. To the carousel. Ramsey just getting a little closer now to Joshua Hayder, and he's just starting to maybe put Joshua under a little bit of pressure. See as we keep going through these final couple of laps. Mohamed Ramsey using that slipstream to his advantage. Look at him just gain and gain and gain. Breaks a little earlier. Into the whoa! I don't think he did break early. Carried way too much speed. Is that the end of a potential podium for Mohamed Ramsey? Way too fast in there. I thought he was going to break a little early to not go into the back of Hayder, and he nearly did. Drops the rear. And around goes Ramsey. He's now under pressure from Timothy Spearson, not in the slipstream of Joshua Hayder. That could hurt him around here now. And that could put to bed. Here he goes, look, just way too fast. Does well to hang on to that. Does really well. Oh. Not quite the reactions of the Formula 2 driver from free practice yesterday, but, you know, good save nonetheless from Mohamed Ramsey. As Spearson now down through turn 2 in that slipstream of Ramsey once again. Couldn't make it work up the start-finish straight. Can he now down towards turn 3? We've got Adrian Gomez not a million miles behind. Big wiggle there for Matteo Strobach. Coming down towards turn 3 as well, under the Racing Unleashed bridge. Great to see. Matteo here. Not close enough going into turn 3 to make the move on Simon Benoit. At 12 of 16. Simon De Mori, Mario Stanic, Tyler Klausch, the top 3 still. But Klausch has dropped right off the back of Stanic, and Hayder's dropped off the back of Klausch. Theo's got Lorenzo Hayder behind him. It's a lot to ask for him to get inside the top 10. Bueno gets past Fabian Spies then. It's for 16th and 17th. Tim Bellicky's up to 19th place, so he's made a few positions. He's on the back of Elliott Shaw as well. Rivoli is a lap down. And we start lap 13 of 18. Up at the slipstream here, in towards turn 1. Nice and smooth on the wheel, that's great to see. To 2. Again, nice and smooth through turn 2. Now still in that slipstream, not really gaining too much here. I do believe this is Matteo. Closest under braking, misses his apex a little bit. This is Timothy Spearson, apologies, who is hunting down that of Mohamed Ramsey. Being caught by Roberto Miguez as well, to be fair. So Timothy Spearson, nice and smooth on the wheel, nice to see. Kevin Gelly on the back of Borja Zorzo, so Borja Zorzo made a mistake somewhere. Not sure, we've not really seen him in this race, so great to see a bit of screen time for Borja and for Kevin, to be fair. Not seen Kevin much. It's a little wide through the carousel. You heard him have to lift a little bit through there. And Lorenzo Hayder and Benoit, they get, Bueno, sorry, get past Benoit. Bellique's got past Matteo. So what's happened to Matteo down the order? He's had a problem. Tim Bellique now into 16th place. Lorenzo Hayder up into 12th, but he's 7 seconds behind Tim Potsmatter, and he's then at least a good 8 seconds behind, 8 to 9 seconds behind that of Kevin Gelly, who we're on board with for that final podium, for that final top 10 seat, who will then possibly, if they want to, get the chance to go and race the Racer League drivers. Kevin Gelly not closing in the slipstream, lap 14 of 16, so 3 to go. Bush is also here. Just trying to hang on in there for that top 10 spot. Tim Portsmouth is the car behind there, 2.5 seconds. Lorenzo Hayder is 5 seconds behind him, so yeah, about 7, 8 seconds between Lorenzo and getting inside that top 10. This is Mohamed Ramsey, who's closed the gap back to Joshua Hayder, so it shows his pace in this race. Just a shame he's made a couple of mistakes, otherwise you'd have fancied him for a podium. Top 3 look well set for this. As the gap's just opening up slightly at the end of this race. Lap 14 of 16, about to start lap 15 here. And here is Simon Demori, who has been electric in this race. Comes across the line now to start lap 15. And he has been fantastic in this race. Not put a foot wrong. It's going to be lights to flag, you'd imagine. And I hope I've just not gave him the commentator's curse there, because he's been brilliant. He really has. Bellique moves up to 15th place. He gets past Fabian. No, he doesn't. Now having a little squabble. Elliott's now got past Tim Bellique, who's had another off. Tim's off the road again at the bottom end of the circuit. What a shame for Tim. That is absolutely heartbreaking for him. Kevin Gelly now, still on the back of Borja Zorzo. That gap between himself and Tim Potsmatter has come down over the last lap. But is it going to come down enough? Lorenzo Hayder is now 7 seconds behind Tim Potsmatter, so that is going to be him done, really, for the top 10. Gelly just looks like he's lost out a little bit to Borja Zorzo. Around the carousel they come, down towards the back part of this circuit. Simon Demori getting closer to start that final lap of the race. And a great win, really, or a great race so far for Simon. For the top 3, who's that? That's Tim Bellique in the wall again, so just having a nightmare of a lap. Simon Demori does the fastest lap of the race as well. So he pumps in the fastest lap on the penultimate lap. This is what happened to Tim Bellique then. just lit up the rear wheels, has a snap, can't catch it. Yeah, just testing the limits, I reckon, there. As you're seeing his brother Lewis in the chat saying that he's got to try out these sims when he's in Germany. Indeed you have. Here's Kevin Gelly. Got one more lap to get past Borza Zarzo. Tim Potsmatter down in 11th place. What can he do from here? Can he sneak inside that top 10? Too far back at the moment. With any mistake this lap from Kevin Gelly in front could give him that opportunity. This is Potsmatter in Zurich. This is over his right shoulder, looking at the screens in front. And what you don't quite get a sense of here, you can see that simulator bouncing around. You don't quite get the sense of how much that actually moves around. But Simon de Mori then, he's out the bottom end of the circuit. He's got one corner left to go. He's not put a single foot wrong in this race. And he doesn't through the final corner. But he has drove an absolute belt here. Simon de Mori is going to take the Challenger League race win here and will take P1 in the Challenge League. Great drive from him. Simon de Mori absolutely thrilled with that one. It'll be P2 for Mario Stanic. Good drive from him. And P3 will go the way of Tyler Klausch. Good drive for Tyler. P4 Lorenzo Hayder. P5 Mohamed Ramzi. Absolutely brilliant from these drivers. Here is Mohamed. He could have possibly been a man on the podium. Say Mohamed Ramzi fourth, Joshua Hayder. I believe Joshua Hayder may have slowed down. Timothy Spearson was then behind Mohamed Ramzi from Adrian Gomez. And the list is a little jumbled up now. Roberto Miguez came next. Obviously, they're still going around and overtaking each other, so that order on the side of the screen a little jumbled up. And we'll bring in the full classification eventually as well. But what a win for Simon de Mori. Absolutely faultless. He was brilliant today. And I'm sure he'll get the chance to have a go again in the Racer League race shortly, provided he wants to. I'd love to see him in there compete with the Racer League drivers in the Formula One car. And we will get to speak with Simon de Mori in a few moments' time. But what a race it was. Great little race here. I believe we can bring you the full classification. Simon de Mori from Mario Stanic and Tyler Klausch, your top three. And they will take provisional, don't forget, this is all provisional. They will provisionally take that prize with them. Fourth place, Joshua Hayder from Mohamed Ramzi. And fifth, Timothy Spearson, P6, with Adrian Gomez, Roberto Miguez, Borja Sarzo, and Kevin Gelly rounding out the top 10. Tim Portsmatter was P11 from Lorenzo Hayder in 12th. Juanjo Bueno was P13 from Simon Benoit. 15th place for Fabian Spears. Elliot Shaw, P16, with Matteo Strobach in P17. Tim Bellicke, P18. Jason Blysick, 19th place. And Antonio Rivoli was P20. And that was the Challenger League race around this circuit. It all happened off the line. A few drivers making contact, and this was the big one. Lorenzo Hayder backwards in the wall. That was Mohamed Ramzi's first mistake, before making another a little later on. This was Mohamed Ramzi and a battle that happened behind him. It was great side-by-side action. I believe that was Spearson getting past, making contact there. Sendits into turn 3. It was great action. That was, I believe, Bellicke having a moment on his own. There's another, just a snap. You're just seeing the same sort of mistakes, the little snaps. That was Ramzi around the outside of Joshua Hayder. It was a great move at turn 1 at the time. Used the slipstream, carried the momentum through turn 1. It was a fantastic overtake for Mohamed Ramzi. And then this was Joshua Hader, who went, anything you can do, I can do better, except Ramsey missed his brakes, pushed him wide onto the grass, and Joshua was allowed the place through. That was a snap. I believe that was Bleissig, who then was recovering from his mistake and got a wallop up the rear. And that put his race to bed. You see him just trying to hold on to it. He couldn't do so. That was Matteo, just outbraking himself, pushing the Brit off circuit. It was a shame. It was a good little scrap. And another move from the Zurich drivers. Just exchanging places at turn 3. It was absolutely fantastic racing, this was. And again, another Zurich driver up the inside. That was Lorenzo Hader. And it was a great move, look. Tight squeeze. Gets it done. Gets it on the apex. A little twitch mid-corner. He held on to it. This was the big moment. Joshua Hader. Well, what must he have been thinking? Because Mohamed Ramsey carries so much speed through, and he saves it really well, to be fair. He, lost all momentum. That cost him the chance of fighting for that podium. There's another spin. I think that was possibly Rivoli. This was Tim Bellicki towards the end of the race. Just had a moment on his own. Just trying to push too far. But it was that one man, Simon de Mori, who took the race win. It was fantastic for him. And getting a high five from Sinan Demirbas there. Mr. Gardening Gloves himself giving him a high five and a bit of applause there in the Munich lounge. Munich take the first win of the day. The Racer League action will be coming up, so make sure you don't go anywhere. Go and maybe grab yourself a glass of pop, a nice cup of coffee or a cup of tea, maybe even a beer or two as we get ready for the Racer League race in the Formula 1 cars around the same circuit road America. Don't forget, the top 10 from that Challenge League race will go into the Racer League race, provided they want to do so. They've been invited in to that race as well. And we are looking forward to this one. Good evening to everybody who is watching live. If you missed that first race, you missed an absolute belter, but stay there because we've got the second race, the Racer League race, coming up in a few moments' time. What a race that was. Simon de Mori, provisional race winner from Mario Stanic, from Tyler Klausch. All results are provisional. Keep your eyes out if you are an audience member on the Racing Unleashed social media on Instagram or Twitter, or X, apologies, as it is now called, for any information. I don't know why I did that with my arms here. Either way. Got a long day still in store. Fantastic race one. We're going to get to see race 2. We're going to get to see the likes of Yannick Plecher and Siro Zambra coming through. We can, though, speak now with... apologies, who we're bringing somebody in for an interview. I just missed that the name. I believe it's Simon we're going to get in for a chat. Who was your... it's Tyler Klausch, who is going to be the first man we speak to. Tyler...
Oh no, it's not Tyler, it's Simon de Mori.
It's Simon. Yeah, apologies, being told the wrong driver. Simon, congratulations on the race win.
Yeah, thank you. It was a really good race. I'm really happy I managed to pull away straight away and didn't have too much pressure the whole race. Although I still had flashbacks from last time, the Road to Ascari challenge, when I made the mistake on my own. But yeah, super happy now.
Super happy now. It was a real good qualifying and start to the race, because you set that phenomenal lap in the qualifying session that set you up for this race.
Yeah, quali was really going well as well. The first lap I invalidated, so I was a bit worried there, and also I didn't have the best track position. But then when I did my second and third lap, I already saw that I'm P1, so yeah, I wasn't too much under pressure, and I just managed to keep it. And yeah, so I think it really helped me as well in turn 1, the inside line especially, because Tyler was on the outside and he had that was harder for him to stay in front. So yeah, I think that really helped me, the quali.
What was the nervous part of that race there, Simon? Because it must have been keeping that gap, you know, at a good margin.
You said what was the most stressful part, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the most stressful part was definitely the start, you know, when you've got the whole grid packed up behind you and, you know, there's so much that can go wrong in turn 1 as well. So I was really happy when I made it through turn 1, 2, and I saw on the straight that I had like a 0.6 second gap already. And I saw the guys in the back battling, so I knew I would be out of the slipstream pretty surely at the end of the lap. And I think that's really key around this track because you've got the 3 massive straights, and if somebody's in your slipstream, it's hard to get rid of them. Yeah, so I'm really happy I got out of the slipstream straight away.
Well, congratulations, Simon. Well done at the moment. Obviously, all results provisional, but congratulations on that P1 so far. Believe we can speak now with Mario Stanic as well. Hopefully he's there for us to speak with. Mario, P2 on the road. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
How was that one for you?
I was really nervous, so I would say it was a boring race because I had like half of the race just all alone, nothing to battle for. So, but P2, really great for me.
Really great for you. How much was you looking at Tyler in that race? Because he was close, but never really challenged you.
I looked at a lot after Delta because I knew when he's close to me, I knew I had to push, but he was far away, so I always had it like loose for me. So I looked a lot at the Delta.
Was it more for yourself? Excuse me. Was it more for yourself about not making mistakes, to not allow Tyler past?
Yeah. So with the mistakes, I was always thinking, so don't do anything wrong, stay on the track, and yeah, that was like the big problem for me.
Well, Mario, P2, congratulations. Hopefully it stays that way. I don't see why it wouldn't, but congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Mario Stanic here, P2, with Simon de Mori, P3, and I believe we can speak with Tyler. Hopefully we can speak with Tyler. I'm not too sure at the moment. Just waiting for word, but Tyler Klausch was P3. Here he is. We can speak with Tyler now. Tyler, P3, congratulations.
Thank you.
How was that race for yourself there?
It was very calm, not so much stressful with Mario. I let him pass and yeah, was okay.
You was having to keep an eye on Lorenzo behind you and Mohamed Ramsey at one stage. Did you think maybe there was a bit more of a fight coming from them?
Yeah, well, I was a bit scared from Joshua, but I saw then Mohamed is faster, and then they fought, and then so I could race.
You could race. Well, it is provisionally P3 for yourself. That must be brilliant for you, obviously, to potentially get that track day experience at the Red Bull Ring.
Yeah, it was unexpected from my side. Yeah, better than I expected, so it's good.
Well, Tyler, we'll let you get to it. Congratulations, provisional P3 at the moment. Well done.
Thanks.
So Tyler Klausch there, P3, and Simon de Mori, race winner with Mario Stanic, P2. And that is a great first race. We're getting ready for the second race of the day, where qualifying will be coming up momentarily. And what a chance for these drivers here to really get to grips with these Formula One cars. Obviously, going into that championship in September, it's going to be great to see. I'm looking forward as well, because over these next 3 months with no spring events, summer events on, it's going to be interesting to see the calendar be released. No information yet of the circuits for the championship. I don't believe there's a date yet for what the calendar is to be released. So it's all new to me. It's all new to everybody who's a part of Racing Unleashed. It's going to be fantastic to see what the calendar will look like going forward. We had some great tracks last season. You go back to the race at Monza. What a race that was. Are we going to get more of the same from circuits like that this year? That is going to be the question. It is a series that will run from September through till June next year as well. So over the winter series, so it's going to be fascinating to see who does what exactly through there, as well as the continued running of the iRacing event. Obviously, if you wasn't here last week, if you wasn't a part of the broadcast then, iRacing at Spa next week, I believe next week. Yes, next week at Spa in the Toyota GR86, I believe the car was called. Heavy rain was the weather. You've got to love the fact that iRacing now has rain and we're getting to see weather for the first time on here at Racing Unleashed, and what this is going to do, I don't know. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. That is next week, the 2nd of June, I believe it is. Yeah, the 2nd of June, next Sunday. You will not want to miss that one. So the event's coming thick and fast. But this is the last LAN event, the last in the lounge event until September. And the prizes of the chance to go to the Red Bull Ring with a track day will be absolutely phenomenal. We do, though, have a 40-minute Racer League race coming up for you in a few moments' time. That will be with Push to Pass, the 8x8 usages of that one. We'll get to see, and will we see the top 10 from the Challenge League race in that one? Hopefully we get a few drivers in there. Now, just to let you know as well, we'll mention this again in the in the qualifying, but the black chassis car are from Munich, the blue chassis are from Zurich, the red chassis are Madrid, and the burgundy chassis are the Calm Lounge. So let's see what we can, let's see what they look like when they come out on track here at Road America. Once again, if you haven't already, make sure you follow us on social media, on Instagram especially, because there is a chance for you, the viewer, to win a chance, to get a chance to win 3 lots of 10 laps at the Red Bull Ring. Apologies. Just head over to Racing Unleashed Instagram for a chance to register and win. All the information is in the bio, and do what it says there. Make sure you fill out the form, follow our page, and add it to your story as well for an extra bonus chance to win. Make sure you follow the Zurich Racing Unleashed page, the Madrid one, and the Munich one, and that is your chance to win this giveaway. So it's not just the drivers who maybe get a track day experience at the Red Bull Ring. It is your chance, the viewer, to get one as well. And I've saw a viewer in the chat at the moment, goes by the name of Tony. I don't think he'll be registering for this one. Bless him. Although that would be hilarious to see. I'm sure it would. Tony, if you are watching, yeah, why not enter? Because that'd be fantastic to get you out in one of them. If you was to win the competition, that'd be brilliant to see. But we are here at Road America for the Racer League race. Coming up momentarily, I have my monitor next to me. We aren't yet on the grid for qualifying, so we are still waiting to see what happens here. Siro, let's go Siro in the chat. So we get to see the likes of Siro Zambra and Yannick Pletcher. And which other Racer League drivers do we get to see as well? Hopefully we'll bring up a list of the names for you for who will be in this event. And the prize for these drivers, same cars as the Challenge League, but a little difference. We'll get into that one as well. While we get into this, the top 10 drivers of the Challenger League who will be racing in this one, or potentially will be racing in this one, they can qualify, but their lap times will not count in qualifying. So it is a chance for them to have 10 minutes worth of seat time in the Formula 1 car and going from F3 to F1. But they will be starting from the back of the grid, so they'll be starting from 10th down. I've just seen in the comments that he said nope, doesn't want to enter that one. Does Tony? That's a shame. That would have been absolutely brilliant to see you in a track day at the Red Bull Ring. Rooting for Siro, says Lewis Bellicki in this one. Depending on the driver list, it's hard not to, because Siro has come on leaps and bounds over the 2 years that I've been a part of Racing Unleashed and seen him develop as a driver. Challenger League champion 2 years ago to finish quite successful last season, and really going to give the push for the Racer League this year. But can he stop Michael Smeedle? Can he stop Alejandro Sánchez? They're the big two names really in this one to really try and stop and beat. We saw Alejandro win the Spring Event 1 on the road to Ascari earlier this year, so he got the track time there. It's going to be fascinating to see what we can get from him in this one. And we can take a look at the Formula 4 car that they will get the chance to drive at the Red Bull Ring. massive thank you to our partners there involved with this one, and as well as Apex Racing TV for shooting this from their studio here in Northamptonshire. It's absolutely fantastic to be in this one. We are getting ready in a few moments' time for the final driver list for the Racing League race. There's a lot of love for Siro in the chat for P1. Rooting for Siro. Siro P1 incoming. Let's go, Siro. There's a lot of love for Siro Zambra in the chat. We can, though, take another look back at what happened on the road to Ascari for the three drivers who won from the Spring Event 1 and the 3 drivers that won from Spring Event 2, the esports event. Let's see what happened at Ascari.
Yeah, we're in the south of Spain, where 6 of our drivers won a golden ticket for a track day.
It's a lovely trip. It's a mini holiday. We get to drive race cars.
I'm here to have a lot of fun, definitely, and enjoy this. It's like once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
I'm trying to enjoy all the day and try not to die.
It's very exciting. I mean, look at the track, look at the landscape. It's amazing. So it's a very awesome feeling.
As a sim racer, you full push immediately. You go over the limit. In real life, you rather find the limit.
We believe that the next big stars, they come from sim racing.
And what a outing that was. What a day that was at Ascari, owned by our very own Francisco Fernandez, who owns the Ascari circuit as well. Still some love for Siro, but then Noah in the chat as well. Let's show all the drivers some love, especially the ones in Zurich, he says there. So great to see a lot of love for the drivers in the chat. While we await for this driver list, let's go through the prizes of what could be won here for the Racer League drivers. So if you win the Racer League event race today, you will get a platinum training drive around the F1 circuit in the Porsche 718 Cayman and the KTM Crossbow and the Formula 4 car. So a chance to get a drive in all 3. If you're second place, you get 20 laps in the Formula 4 car around the South Circuit. And if you're third place, you get the KTM Crossbow training at the driving centre and on the F1 circuit. So that is the prizes. If you win this event, you get a chance to drive all 3 of them amazing cars around the Red Bull Ring. What an absolute prize that could be for the winner of the Racing Unleashed of the Racer League driver in this one today. That is huge for that driver and what that could do for them. In terms of just taking a step forward in possible real-world racing, it could be absolutely huge. This is going to be a mega day and a mega event. The Formula 1 cars is the cars we are awaiting on. We're just awaiting final driver list. Top 10 drivers from the Challenger League race are now being placed into the Racer League race as well. Once again, a reminder, they can qualify, but their lap times will not count. They will be starting from the back of the grid here so that they can just get a bit of track time in the Formula 1 car, having to go from the transition of Formula 3 to Formula 1. They're also allowed, if you've listened to our tech videos with Mr. JWW on the iRacing events, they run different modes, and Challenge League run a different mode on the steering wheel to the Race League drivers. They are allowed to run their Challenge League mode as well. I do believe that is the case. They're allowed to run that. And this is why they are starting from the back of the grid, because it affects your traction and ABS as well. So interesting to see. We'll keep our eyes on that, but the Racer League drivers, when we get that list of drivers. I've not seen the names yet, so I guarantee Siro's taking parts. There's a lot of love for him in here. And Sebastian. The others, I don't know. So let's see the names on this list. Sinan Demirbaş is in Munich. We've seen Sinan Demirbaş, so he's obviously taking in part. Mr. Gardening Gloves himself. And I had the pleasure of seeing him, of messaging him on Instagram the other week. I saw he was in the iRacing event, and I messaged him saying that, you know, do you have the gardening gloves? And he didn't for that event. I wonder if they're with him today. Let's wait and see as we go through. Just still awaiting this final entry list for this race here. Going to be a fascinating one, going to be an interesting one to see what these drivers can do in this race as we look forward to our season in September. And I reckon at some point during the championship, we're going to have to speak with Fabio Vettiger and bring him in to the seat alongside me. Obviously, we're going to miss rush hour this year. But this is the circuit today, opened in 1955, an FIA Grade 2 circuit. It is 4.048 miles long, 6.514 kilometres. And look at this fantastic layout. Road America here in Wisconsin, home of the Green Bay Packers, the NFL team, as you head through the start-finish straight, a long start-finish straight into turn 1. So fast compared to the Formula 3 cars. Wow. This is going to be an interesting lap. This is when we see some of these in qualifying. Through turn 2 you go. Use that runoff down the hill. You come towards turn 3. This is going to be a fascinating lap to see. Down towards turn 3 you come once again then. You'll hit the brakes hard, get it turned in. Lovely livery on the Racing Unleashed there. I'll have to speak with Fabio and ask who did the livery for this one today. I know he did the Formula 3 one. It was fantastic to see that he'd had a go at doing the Formula 3 one, and what a livery it was. Through turn 4 you come then, and 5. Down towards turn 6 before this carousel. Now these slight little bends in the circuit, the Americans have listed as a corner on their website. I looked through today. This is classed as the carousel then, before you come to turn 11 and turn 11A. So, yeah, going to be very interesting. And only the Americans give it 11 and 11A, not 11 and 12. Down at the bottom end of the circuit, it's probably the biggest braking zone of them all. Before you climb back uphill slightly once again, right and left. You flick through towards the final corner before you get the big run up the start-finish straight. And that is a lap in these Formula 1 cars that are absolutely, and you've just seen, look at that view, absolutely rapid around this circuit. They are fantastic, and it is going to be an interesting event here in this one. I believe we can bring you the driver entry list for this race momentarily, any minute now. So nerve-wracking. It's like waiting for the results of a finale. Enrique Marañon, Alejandro Sánchez, Agustin Torlacci, Marcus Valverde, Angelo Mikel, Sinan Demirbaş, Yannick Pletcher, Siro Zambra, Simon de Mori will get to take place in this one as well, as will Mario Stanic, Tyler Klausch, Joshua Hayden, Mohamed Ramsey, Timothy Spearson, Adrian Gomez, Roberto Miguez, Kevin Gelly, and Lorenzo Hayder as well. So Borges also not wanting to take part in this one. I think I just know I've put my money on for this race win. But hey, wait and see. Anything can happen. 40-minute race, 8 usages of push to pass. A lot can happen in this race. There's a lot of love for Siro Zambra in the chat. I believe we are just now getting ready to go into qualifying. Good grid, that. Good grid. Interesting grid. The qualifying session then is just getting underway. I can see next to me the drivers are out on the circuit. Some have already left the pit lane. Some are still leaving the pit lane. As we go to the screen then. Here is Yannick Pletcher. Don't forget, the blue chassis is that of Zurich. The black chassis is Munich, red for Madrid, and burgundy for Calm then. So this is going to be interesting to see what these drivers can do in this qualifying session. Formula 1 car time. And I believe push to pass is not available in this qualifying session. 10 minutes of qualifying to go. Who can do what here? Lovely decal on these cars, really is. Yannick Pletcher, current Challenger League champion. He'll be making the step up to Racer League this year. So seat time for him. There is Yannick. Always looks so cool in the simulator. He never looks flustered. He just looks like he's out for a drive around the streets of Zurich at times. That's a driver backing off to prepare for his lap, and Yannick Pletcher's just Yeah, you've got one driver backing up to prepare for a lap, and Yannick Pletcher's gone, I'll have that spot then, buddy. Thank you very much. As he comes through the final corner to start his lap now, Yannick Pletcher. Over his right shoulder we go then. Yannick Pletcher climbs up the hill and starts his time now as he comes towards turn 1. Brakes, lifts off, down a gear, uses all the runoff he possibly can before the track limits. Down into 2 again, down a couple of gears this time, back on the power, uses as much curb as he can. And down the first of the straights for Yannick Pletcher. Hard on the brakes into turn 3. You climb uphill now as you use that runoff on the outside to turn 4. Yannick driving really well. We didn't see the best of Yannick back in the spring event 1. We're getting to see what he could do now in the Formula 1 cars. Yannick Pletcher now. Coming towards, well, he's gone through the cows, he's come towards the bottom end of the circuit. Sanchez fastest lap of the race, a 1:32.2. Only 14 thousandths of a second quicker than Enrique Marañon. What is Yannick Pletcher's time? It's looked a tidy lap this from Yannick. So this is going to be interesting to see. Lorenzo Hayder's just got above his brother Joshua for 9th and 10th. Different car for these two. Obviously the Challenger League drivers' lap times will not count. We will only be the Racer League drivers. Yannick Pletcher moves just over half a tenth behind that of Alejandro Sánchez into P4. Siro Zambra now we're on with. Challenger League champion of 2 years ago. Looking to give his all in the Formula 1 cars. A man who's had a lot of racing experience in the real world with Prodigy in America last year. So let's see what Siro can do. Puts a lot of work and effort into this, does Siro Zambra. It'll be interesting to see what he can do coming through the last part of this circuit. Half the qualifying time has gone already. I've just seen in the chat there, Lewis Bellicky, the academy driver for Apex Racing, supporting the main team drivers. That'll be Alejandro Sánchez. One of Apex Racing's star drivers. Siro just possibly using a little more curve than he'd have liked to there as he comes to break the timing beam now and start one more lap. Siro Zambra moves up to P4 just behind Angelo Mikel, and it is the top 8 within a second of the race leader, but it is the top 5, I do believe, within a 10th of a second. So Agustin Torlacci now decides to make that the top 6. He moves up into 5th place. Great to see some of these lap times from these bottom drivers. Timothy Spearson has decided to not go out. Here is Sinan Demirbas. Oh, I like that in black. That is beautiful in the black and red and white. The red obviously symbolising Sinan's simulator. That is a lovely looking livery. Has to be said. Solid lap from Siro. Indeed, it was a solid lap. But Yannick Pletcher now moves back up into P4. Knocks Siro off his perch by a 1,000th of a second. And what can Sinan Demirbas do? I wonder if our producer can bring up the camera for Sinan Demirbas. Love to see if he's got the gardening gloves on. It's Fabio told me that. I just find that one of the best things ever. See all these drivers come with their race gloves and race boots. Not Sinan. Currently down in... Actually, it's P8, sorry, apologies. 0.999 off the pole. Bit of tidy lap from Sinan here as well. Comes in towards the last corner now. Will this be an improvement? You don't know, I don't know. We've lost the timing screens. So will this be an improvement for Sinan Demirbas? He comes across the lead, the line, and could be anywhere. Just been told in my ear that there is a problem with the gaps on the timing screens. The gaps aren't accurate too. I tell you what, it's nice in red as well, isn't it, for Madrid? Do prefer the black. I think the red's my second favourite. Nice to see the burgundy. I wonder what the burgundy one looks like. So we'll bring you the leaderboard back momentarily. There we go. So it is Enrique Marañon who's now took pole position. Wow, Sinan goes P8. We're on board with Alejandro Sánchez, currently P2. Well, that's nice with the yellow and white on the back. First time I'm seeing these liveries, and I'd have to say, whoever's done these has done a fantastic job. If this is what we're getting for the season, these look nice. These look really nice. Alejandro Sánchez, currently P2. At the moment, looking to take provisional pole back. We'll get at least 2 more laps in, I reckon. Coming up the hill now for Alejandro Sánchez. Here at Road America. Stays P2. So he's got to give it his all this lap. Siro Zambra moves up to 3rd ahead of Angelo Miquel. Marcus Valverde goes P6 ahead of Augustin Torlachi then. Sinan now moves back up into P8. Here is Torlachi. Currently running in 8th place. In 5th place, sorry, Augustin Torlachi. Oh, the engine noise there, beautiful sound on our drone cameras. Enrique Marañon still the pole sitter. Who's going to get the final couple of laps? That's going to be the crucial thing. Timothy Spearson moves into P9. Obviously, the Challenger League drivers' lap times will not count. This is all the Racer League drivers. These shots coming through the carousel then. Yannick Pletcher's down to 6th. What can he do to make up a bit of time there? Augustin Torlachi towards the bottom end of the circuit. 20 seconds left to go. I don't think Augustin's going to get another lap. That's a Munich driver ahead of him. You see the black car. Alejandro Sánchez gets one more run and goes provisional pole. So where's Marañon on circuit? Is he on a final flyer? Augustin Torlachi. I don't think he's going to get another lap in here. Tell you what though, he actually might. He does. 2 seconds, crosses the line, stays P5. Here's Angelo Miquel down in P4. I wonder if we can pick up Enrique Marañon to see where he is on the circuit. Here he is. Where's this? Coming towards the carousel now. I believe just the car in front of Angelo Miquel. Marañon pushed Sánchez hard in Spring Event 1 and looks like he's doing the same in Spring Event 3, which bodes really well for this championship starting in September, let me tell you. This could be huge for that. Here comes Marañon through the final corner. Up the start-finish straight he goes. And he's going to cross the line. What's his lap time going to be? We can't see. It's going to keep him P2. It's a 1:32.3. It's going to keep him P2. Angelo Miquel stays P4. Here's Yannick Pletcher. Down in 6th place. I have to admit, black liveries is the best livery. We can tell you that, yeah, even though we can't see the gaps on display between the drivers, the positions are correct. Yannick Pletcher bails on that lap. Enrique Marañon, we know, has just crossed the line. And we can bring you then the full classification of the grid order here then. Alejandro Sánchez will be your pole sitter. In just a few moments' time, we can confirm that Alejandro Sánchez is the pole sitter. There he is from Enrique Marañon. Row 2 will be Siro Zambra with Angelo Mikel. Row 3, Augustin Torlaci and Yannick Pletcher. Row 4, Marcus Valverde and Sinan Demirbas. Joshua Hader, then 9th place. 9th to 10th will be sorted from the back. I believe in this order, but I'm not going to confirm anything just yet. 9th place, Joshua Hader. 10th, Timothy Spearson. Mario Stanic, P11. Lorenzo Hader, P12. Simon Mori, P13. Tyler Klausch from Adrian Gomez. Roberto Miguez, Kevin Gelly, and Mohamed Ramsey, 18th place. So that is the order of this grid. It's going to be a fantastic race. I have a feeling. Yeah, anybody could win this for me. Anybody could win this. Obviously, if you've been watching Racing Unleashed for the past couple of seasons, you're probably going to sit there and think Alejandro is probably going to be the favourite driver for this one. I'm not so sure. He's a very quick driver, but it's going to be interesting to see if he will win this one. The strategy here with slipstream and everything is just going to be a bit interesting. You'd be right to say Alejandro's probably the favourite. We've seen him for the last 2 seasons have a real good fight with Michael Smeedle. But the likes of Marañon stepped up his game in the Spring Event 1. Siro Zambra stepping up his game as well. So them 2 drivers could really take it to Alejandro. Don't forget Torlaci, Valverde, Demirbas, Angelo Mikel, Yannick Pletcher. They could all do it. And what can the Challenger League drivers do who are stepping up into the Racer League territory? Could they upset the apple cart and maybe nick a podium, maybe nick a race win? And we'll find out in a few moments' time. We can all catch our breath. We can all pause and wait. Now is the last moment to get up, go to the toilet, get a drink, get sat back down because the race is about to start. 40-minute race ready for these drivers in the Formula One cars around Road America. 8 usages of push to pass. Now, push to pass, if you was new to last season, 8 usages and it lasts for 8 seconds. After them 8 seconds, this is not per lap. You can use all 8 if you wanted in one lap. That strategy would probably not be the best one. As we saw a lot of times in the championship last season, Michael Smeedle decided to use his push to pass early. Didn't necessarily cost him, especially later on in the season. To start with, it was a strategy that the drivers had to really get used to. Now, we're going to see what these drivers can do and what these drivers have learnt over that course of a season. Because them 8 usages on the straights that we have here at Road America could give you such an advantage, especially with the slipstream, that you will need to get into turn 1, turn 3, or maybe just out the carousel coming down the bottom of the circuit. It's going to be fascinating to see here. Just look into my monitor next to me. We are just waiting to get going. They're not lined up yet on the grid. We'll bring you information of that when we get it. But Alejandro Sánchez is your poleman. And don't forget, this is for the amazing prizes at the Red Bull Ring. All the results today are provisional, unless we get told in our ears that they are confirmed. If you want to find out the final results and see who's won them prizes to go to the Red Bull Ring, make sure you check out our Twitter/X or check our Instagram as well. We have just got a slight delay while we sort out the grid order being told. So we will be away in a few moments' time. This is going to be an absolutely fantastic race. There are some shots from our lounge in Zurich. And you're seeing a few of the spectators watching on over the balcony, looking to cheer their friends and family on. I see a few of Yannick Pletcher's family there, watching over the balcony as these drivers prepare to get ready. Great shots of our lounge in Zurich. There's one of the cameras from by the front door, looking down at a couple of simulators. There's Munich. How quiet it is in Munich at the minute. The drivers still sat in their seats. There's Madrid. They're all watching on, getting ready to go, hoping their drivers can take a race win. Enrique Marañon closest to the camera. I believe Alejandro Sánchez is there in the yellow simulator. There's race control. Now that, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if you're new to Racing Unleashed, that is not the chair you want to be sat in. That is the hardest job here at Racing Unleashed. That is the hardest job out of everybody. Yes, you're on the camera. We can see you. And yeah, they have the hardest job at the entire of Racing Unleashed. No matter what happens in the background, me sat here, our producer sat behind the screens. We are on the main camera, apologies. The producer sat behind the screens. Everybody who drives the simulators, race control have the hardest job. And yeah, you don't want to be in their seats, especially when you've got 2 races in one day to get sorted. I've seen how hard them guys work, and let me tell you, they work very, very hard. We are, though, waiting to get that grid order. Beautiful scenes around the Zurich Airport lounge at the Circle. A few restaurants and shops. If you're out there shopping and having a bite to eat, make sure you stop by. Can we get a refreshment? And watch the live action as we head down the stairs away from our lounge manager. This is great to see. A lot of the drivers and lounge representatives. I've had the honour of driving the simulators in them lounges. Absolutely fantastic. Staff and everybody who works there is so very nice. So very nice. Beautiful place to be as well, especially if you've had a go in the simulators, watched a bit of the racing, then you fancy going for a bite to eat or doing a bit of shopping before catching your flight home or wherever you're heading to and your destinations. Beautiful place to go, but make sure you stop off at that Racing Unleashed lounge because it will knock your socks off. It is a beautiful place to be. And the staff there, so very friendly and very helpful. Very, very helpful. Let's see what we can do. And let's have a good race. These sims are being fired up, but we can take a look then at a quick clip. So this is the car the drivers are using today. We saw this for the first time at the esports event, and we now get to see it a second time. Absolutely stunning piece of machinery done by the brilliant people at VRC. Absolutely amazing car. Great trailer to announce the car what we had a month ago. And just a fantastic piece of equipment, really. It looks like the old Williams steering wheel on the Formula One games behind what the drivers will use to pilot this fantastic piece of equipment. And the trailer, I don't think, does it justice. We've just seen in qualifying how nice that car looks, especially in the black and red and the blue. And this trailer, I don't feel does it justice. But what a trailer it is. What a car it is. What a piece of equipment we have here at Racing Unleashed. As we get going, Alejandro Sánchez, your pole sitter from Enrique Marañon, Siro Zambra, Angelo Michel, Augustin Torlacci, Yannick Pletcher, Marcus Valverde, Sinan Demurbas. All the Racer League drivers, Simon Mori will go from 9th with Mario Stanic, 10th, Tyler Klausch, Joshua Hader, Mohamed Ramsey, Timothy Spears and Adrian Gomez, Roberto Miguez, Kevin Galli and Lorenzo Hader. They are in the order they finished in the Challenge League. Looking to my monitor on the right. We're on the grid. It is silent at the moment. Just hear the engines ticking over. And once again, the calm before the storm. Here in Wisconsin, the United States of America, and we're about to get underway. The lights come on screen. The revs start to rise. And for the final time today, It's green and go here in the Racer League for the Formula One Spring Event 3, and it's a great start from both the Spaniards, Marañon and Sánchez, as they head down towards turn 1. Sánchez still in the lead, and you see the red cars of Spain flooding towards the front, and everybody through nice and cleanly. Torlachi's already hassling the back of Siro Zambra. That is Angelo Michel in P4 as well at the moment, and Agustin Torlachi putting pressure on the Munich driver as they come down the second straight towards turn 3. Everybody away nice and cleanly, and now Marcus Valverde, as Sinan de Murbas on the grass, manages to get back on without a big bit of dramas here. And now there's a Zurich car coming through the middle. Not sure who that was. That is the car on the back of Sinan de Murbas. That is Joshua Hader. As Yannick Pletcher now having a fight side by side with that of Agustin Torlachi. I believe he's got ahead. And now Valverde will attack Torlachi. Sinan de Murbas there on the grass, manages to get out of it. Tyler Klausch now coming through up the inside of Roberto Miguez. Scary moment down the straight. And they all come through now. I believe that looked like Yannick Pletcher was side by side with Torlachi once again. No, he's pulled away. He's right on the back of Tyler Klausch. He's been hit, I imagine. There's another car off. And Tyler Klausch got a big wallop. Lorenzo Hader with him. Yannick Pletcher's on the back of Angelo Michel. Enrique Marañon's lost out to Siro Zambra. So Siro trying to hunt down after Alejandro Sánchez. 8 usages of push to pass. Can't see them on screen at the moment. But Siro, second place. Here's what happened to Tyler Klausch. A big, big wallop. Now we're looking at Adrian Gomez, who's got a car just on his inside. He's been spun around. That was Roberto Miguez who spins him around. And the two Spanish drivers come together. But it's Sánchez from Siro, Enrique Marañon, Angelo Michel, Yannick Pletcher, Stanic. Side by side, and doesn't give Joshua enough room. And they both managed to get through. In fact, it's not Joshua, it was a car from Madrid. And Mario Stanic gets the move done. That puts him ahead of Marcus Valverde, so he's ahead of the Racer League driver. Yannick Pletcher now, just dropping off the back of Angelo Michel a slight bit. Here's Mohamed Ramsey down the order, P11. Look at the launch he's got, definitely pushed the pass there. And Ramsey moves ahead of Valverde. And now Yannick Pletcher can head after that of Angelo Michel. Siro Zambra 1.7 to Sánchez. We're on lap 2. And Valverde's lost another place. That is to Simon de Mori, who's had a big wiggle and on the grass. Loses out to Valverde, loses out to Stanic. And now Mohamed Ramsey will chase after Joshua Hader again. Siro on the back of Enrique Marañon. So Marañon's got past him somewhere. Was that with push to pass? I'm not sure. Yannick's dropped off the back of Angelo Michel. Now Siro's got to defend from Angelo Michel. Alejandro Sánchez, lap 3 of 26. This is what happened to Siro Marañon round the outside. That is a great manoeuvre from Enrique Marañon. That is absolutely fantastic. And I believe running their own personalised number this season. Here comes Siro, having a look on Marañon. Doesn't get the move done just yet. I believe the drivers can see what push to pass they have around their rivals as well. But Marañon now just escapes up the road a little bit. How effective is that slipstream? Let's take a look. Siro's not got close enough yet. Marañon fastest lap of the race. Torlachi has been overtaken by Joshua Hader. That's for 7th and 8th. So Joshua Hayden now will be heading after Sinan Demirbaş, who's trying to hunt down Yannick Plecher, who has just dropped off the back of Angelo Mikel a slight bit. And Mikel now getting closer to that off Siro Zambra. Oh, big snap on the rear. And Angelo tidies that one up. Oh, and that's, I'm not sure that is who's had an off on the replay. Big lock up for Angelo Mikel there on the front left. It was Stanic, Mario Stanic, being told had the big off on the replay screen you saw on the bottom of your TV. Angelo Mikel now will be wanting to get on the rear of Siro. He's had a couple of mistakes this lap. Siro as well will want to try and get back on the rear of that of Enrique Marañon. This is Lorenzo Hayder. He's sat behind Roberto Miguez. No, he's not. He's in front of Roberto Miguez there. They've got Timothy Spearson just behind and Mario Stanic just in front after his moment. Sanchez, 1:32.2. Fastest lap of the race. He takes that back from Marañon. Roberto Miguez now. Going to stick in that slipstream and just try and get a little bit closer to that of Lorenzo Hayder. Oh! Not really chopping the nose off, but a late move from Lorenzo there. And that was lucky it wasn't any worse. So Roberto Miguez still ahead of Timothy Spearson, but is still having to hunt down Lorenzo Hayden. Now Timothy Spearson looking up the inside into turn 3. That's a good move. That's as clean as you like. That is a super, super move from Timothy Spearson there. Roberto Miguez now down another place. So for Roberto, he's got a bit of work to do. This is the overtake again from Timothy. Little lock up, got the apex, absolutely pitch perfect from him. It was a beautiful overtake. We're already on to lap 5. This is Augustin Torlacci chasing down Joshua Hayder, who's got in front. This is Joshua Hayder's view. Coming up the hill towards the start line to start lap 6 of 26. Valverde's got ahead of Mohamed Ramsey just behind. There's Augustin Torlacci. Great to see Augustin hunt down Joshua Hayder. Oh, they go over the curb. Nicely done. Battle out front. This is Sinan Demirbaş looking on Yannick Plecher. Huge lock up from the pair of them, and they still rub wheels. And Sinan still on Yannick's outside, runs very wide there, the nature of the corner. Sinan lives to fight another day, and he will fight another day, that's for sure. Sinan just in that dirty air, look, you just see him just drifting out wide, not able to keep a tighter line like Yannick. It's a shame we can't see the push to pass laps here so that we'd be able to see who's used what. 6 laps in. This is fantastic stuff though. Sinan's got it all to do to catch Yannick again. Alejandro Sánchez, a 1:32.130. Fastest lap of the race once more. Pumping them in now. Really turning it up a notch. Trying to pull that gap over Enrique Marañon, who that was the 1-2. Going back to Spring Event 1 with Angelo Mikel P3. Are we going to get a repeat to Spring Event 1, or is Siro Zambra going to upset the party here? This is Joshua Hayder, still ahead of Alejandro Sánchez there, the simulator. working hard with Joshua Hader inside. And that for me still doesn't do it justice of how much that thing actually moves around. And what you don't see is the seatbelts tightening on your torso as you hit the brakes into a corner. Lorenzo Hader up to P13, his brother. Joshua running a good race in 7th. It is Alejandro from Enrique Marañon, Siro Zambra P3. Angelo Mikel, Yannick Pletcher rounds out the top 5. This is Joshua Hader, who is P7. Down to Mario Stanic, who's gaining on the back of Simon de Mori. He's a lot closer to Simon de Mori in this race, is Mario Stanic. Wasn't this close last time around. It's going to be fascinating to see what Mario can do in this race. There he is in Zurich. Down towards turn 3. That is Mohamed Ramzi just in front of them. Who's having a better showing, running technically P2 out of the Challenger League drivers. Up towards turn 4 comes Mario Stanic. Augustin Torlachi now, still close to the back of Joshua Hader. Just can't get close enough, can Augustin. Just struggling to get that little bit closer. Sanchez from Marañon from Zambra. The top 3 at the minute that will take the prize provisionally. All results, of course, are provisional. Come down the start straight to start lap 9 of 26. Mohamed Ramzi's lost out to de Mori and Stanic, so not sure what's happened to Mohamed Ramzi. He just tumbled down the leaderboard slightly. Siro's got within a second of Marañon out front. So Mohamed Ramzi dropping out of the top 10 here. Here is Mario Stanic. Siro brought that gap down a little bit more. Obviously, it's just ebbing and flowing as the gap increases and decreases depending on braking zones. But that is roughly 9/10 of a second. Enrique Marañon to Siro Zambra. It goes up once more. There is Siro, and there is Marañon just in front. Angelo Mikel nowhere near behind. Yannick Pletcher's fell off the back of Mikel in this race, but is he saving that push to pass? We're not sure at the moment. This is on with Siro Zambra in P3. Trying to get closer to the back of Enrique Marañon then in the red simulator. Down towards turn 3 they come. This is Augustin Torlachi. Now he's really close to Lorenzo Hader here. This is as close as he's been all race. And Augustin's going to go to the outside. That is definitely a push to pass usage here, I reckon, from Augustin Torlachi. Lorenzo tries to brake late. Can't do anything about it. And Augustin, who has a little snap on the rear there, holds on to it and moves up into P7. Great move from the young man. This is a replay of what happened. Joshua went defensive early, and Augustin got the place done. And now Joshua's got to deal with Marcus Valverde, who's technically last of the Racer League drivers in this event. Joshua leading technically the Challenger League drivers. But there's no prize for that. It's just a prize for the top 3 overall. But it's a learning curve as well for Joshua to race with these boys in that Racer League era. Yannick Pletcher now fastest lap. Hello. Yannick Pletcher turning it on late on in this race to catch Angelo Michel and possibly Siro Zambra. Well then, I say late on, we're not even at half distance. Lap 11 of 26. That gap just looks the same. Here's your race leader, who we've not seen since turn 1. We've not mentioned since probably turn 1. And he's got a comfortable gap now. He's got to watch himself. He's in a position where his mistakes will cost him this win. There he is. Again, another man who just looks so collected in the car. You see him all the time in the simulator. He just looks so composed. Never seems to be flustered. With it being a 40-minute race, 26 laps in total, it is about that composure and that mental game to get to the end of the race. Valverde now chasing down after Joshua Hader. What can he do then for Marcus Valverde? Not his best showing, I'd say. We've seen Marcus at his be better. Let's hopefully Marcus will come back to his best the later this race goes on. He's gaining on the back of Joshua Hader though. This is on board. I believe, is that Lorenzo Hader? Yeah, no, Joshua Hader, I believe it is. He's ahead of Valverde. Lost out to Torlachi. Miguez has got ahead of Kevin Galley. Siro, who was within 9/10 not long ago of Marañon, is now... that gap's just come right back down. He's 1 point now behind Marañon. So he's lost time somewhere. Valverde's getting closer now, though, to the back of Joshua Hader. And he's really starting to mount a challenge. Here's Marcus Valverde, leaving it late. Has he used push to pass? Valverde coming through now. Great to see him. This is on the back of Joshua Hader for position. This, although what you're seeing on screen, is the lounge of Zurich Airport with our live camera crew focusing on all the drivers there today. This is Timothy Spearson. As Valverde now gets closer to Joshua Hader. Possibly going to look into turn 3. This is where Augustin got the move done. Lap 13 of 26. Closing, goes to the outside. Joshua probably will be able to defend the inside a little easier. A bit of a lock-up from Joshua, but easy as you like managers to keep hold of that position. Marcus just didn't get alongside early enough, like Augustin Torlachi did. Headband on, fully focused, Marcus Valverde coming through the carousel. Good audience watching the back of Marcus's car, who's in the thick of battle here. Look at him, he's definitely used push to pass there. You just see the closing speed, and Valverde's through. Definitely a usage of push to pass. You saw the difference in speed, and Valverde moves up to P8. And a replay, just so easy with the push to pass, hard to defend from, and especially on a circuit like this where the straights are so long. You can easily use it and get away with it. I wonder if Joshua has any more left at his disposal. Sanchez from Marañon, from Siro Zambra, your top three. Then it is Angelo Mikel, Yannick Pletcher with the fastest lap, Sinan de Murbas, Augustin Torlacci, Marcus Valverde, Joshua Hayder, Simon de Mori, Mario Stanic, Mohamed Ramsey, Timothy Spearson, Lorenzo Hayder, Roberto Miguez, Kevin Galli, Adrian Gomez and Tyler Klausch, although Adrian Gomez has just got ahead of Kevin Galli. Jokes in the chat about rain. That's a shame that there isn't any rain. That would have really spiced things up in this race. Going in for a pit stop to change your tyres. Siro Zambra then has lost sight of Enrique Marañon. Just hasn't been able to stick with him. And he's not really got Angelo Mikel close by either. There is Enrique, just see him up the road, climb up the hill. Siro sat in a comfortable P3 though at the moment. Here is Marañon. Aggressively shifting down the gears there. That's Sanchez just ahead of him. So Marañon's brought the gap down a little bit to Sanchez. The thing is with Alejandro, he's probably just maintaining his pace and just keeping his cool. He's probably barely used any push to pass. And he's just making sure that he doesn't make any mistakes. Mario Stanic now on the back of Mohamed Ramsey. Down towards turn 3 they come now. You're saying, Lewis, in the chat that the 2nd of June you'll see rain. Indeed you will. That is the next Racing Unleashed event. A week tomorrow. The Challenge Leagues at Spa for the iRacing Event 4. Heavy rain forecast. That's going to be an interesting one. That is going to be an interesting one. Here's Yannick Pletcher, currently P5 in the final spring event of the year. As we head into them summer months. Glorious. So Yannick then, what has he got to do in this race? Because he's kind of in no man's land. We don't know which drivers have got pushed to pass. Marañon's done the fastest lap of the race. We're not sure which drivers have got pushed to pass. Yannick is slowly bringing that gap down to Angelo Mikel. Mikel's just becoming a bit larger in his view. But is he really mounting a challenge for P4? Sinan de Murbas behind as well. He's got a little closer to Yannick over these last few laps. So this is going to be an interesting one for Sinan as well. Can he mount a challenge to take top 5 away from Yannick Pletcher? As they come through the middle sector of the lap towards the final sector for the 16th time. Alejandro will shortly be starting the 17th lap of this race, meaning 10 to go in this one. There is Sinan de Murbas. This is where that concentration comes in now. Because at a minute 30 a lap, we're getting close to what would have been the end of the 30-minute race. A few laps time. But with that extra 10 minutes is going to really test the mental game. There he is! Gardening gloves are on for Sinan de Murbas. I wonder if they actually give him a bit extra grip than racing gloves. He doesn't use them at home. Great to see. Sinan de Murbas there, fully focused. Mario Stanic now getting onto the back of Mohamed Ramzi. Did Mohamed just use push to pass? It looked like his car pulled away a little bit in towards turn 1. Stanic really closes through that first corner there, but used a little more of the runoff than what Mohamed Ramzi did. Down towards turn 3. What's Stanic's tactic here? Up 17 to 26. Ramzi defends. Oh, borderline okay, I'd say that. A little jink and cut back from Ramzi. Stanic any closer, I think that's a bit naughty, but Mohamed's okay there. Didn't really help him because Stanic is still all over the back of him at the moment. So here comes Mario. Lorenzo Hayder's gaining as well. That is on Timothy Spearson. This is on Lorenzo Hayder. Oh, little moment there when you just see the correction on the steering wheel. Up the hill they come. Once again, Lorenzo Hayder, a man who's on a mission to try and get a few more places in this race. The top 5 look pretty separated at the moment. Closest battle there is Sinan and Yannick. Lap 18 of 28, so 9 to go, 26, 9 to go. Lorenzo's having a look up the inside on Timothy Spearson. Locks up. Good move though. Didn't go wide of the apex. Timothy gave him plenty of room, saw he was coming. Now Timothy's going to have a look. Oh, does well not to make contact. So Timothy now going back up the inside. Not really an overtaking move. Forces Lorenzo out wide. Lorenzo's going to come back at him. They bump wheels and into the carousel. Timothy gets re-overtaken by Lorenzo Hayder. This is the nature of Road America, especially in that middle sector. Both drivers giving it their all. Timothy's on the grass, they bump wheels. And is Timothy going to have that inside line at the bottom end of the circuit? He does. He's going to find a way through. They still rub wheel to wheel. And Timothy Spearson gets through on Lorenzo Hayder. Great re-overtake. Valverde's finally got past Joshua Hayder on the timing screens as well. But this is great racing from Timothy Spearson and Lorenzo Hayder. Here's a replay of it in the bottom right-hand corner. I've got a feeling Lorenzo's going to have a look up the inside again. Into turn 1. Lorenzo back through on Timothy. And they're still going at it here. Lap 19 of 26. Timothy just had to get out the throttle there. He had to make a little correction. That's compromised his run. And a hand off the wheel. Was that because it was his own mistake, maybe? And Timothy's got it all to do again now. On the back of Lorenzo Hayder. Mario Stanic is pretty close to Mohamed Ramzi as well. This is Timothy Spearson. Coming through then towards the bottom end of the circuit for the 19th time. Alejandro Sánchez just starts lap 20. Here's Simon de Mori. This is down in P9. He's on the, in fact, he's got past Joshua Hayder now. So not sure where he's done that, but Simon de Mori has got himself in front of Joshua Hayder. Joshua Hayder's going to come straight back at him though here. And he's through before turn 1. So de Mori's got that work to do again. Will have the chance to re-overtake Joshua, probably down into turn 3. But Valverde, not his strongest showing today. We've not seen him be able to fight the likes of Yannick and Valverde like we normally see him. Augustin on the timing screens, around a second to Sinan. So Sinan's lost out to Yannick somewhere. This is Ramsey and Stanic up to turn 4. Can't do it there. That is a no-go. Mario Stanic trying to get the job done and get another place as well. P12 for Mario Stanic. He'll be looking for P11 in this race. Towards the bottom end of the circuit. Typical American tracks. Well, not really any names for these corners. He can't do it there. Little wiggle on the exit. Alejandro Sánchez looking pretty comfortable in the lead of this race from Enrique Marañon. Then it's Siro Zambra, the top 3 to take the prize home provisionally. Lap 21 of 26. This is Mario Stanic on Ramsey. At the minute into turn 1. Oh, there's a spinner. Who's that? Who's had a mistake out of 1 just before turn 2? I'm not 100% sure who that is. Is that Tyler Klausch? No, because he's not a lap down. I'm not sure who that is, you know. He's just had a spin. It is Simon de Mori who's had the spin. Yes, because he was in the Marcus Valverde Joshua Hader fight. We are going to try and get a replay of what happened there. So, de Mori's had a spin. Sadly, no replay to bring you on what happened to Simon de Mori there then. So Sanchez leads from Marañon from Zambra. This is the battle for now 10th and 11th between Mario Stanic and the car in front, Mohamed Ramsey. Alejandro Sánchez has started lap 22. Interesting to see what Mario can do at the moment. Oh, it's Augustin Torlachi. P7 on the back now of Sinan Demirbas. So he's trying to look for 6th place overall here. So Augustin trying to get as close as he possibly can to make a move. Is Siro thinking of a late charge on Enrique? Joshua's pretty close to Marcus Valverde. Stanic to the outside of Ramsey. Around the outside of turn 3. He's within the track limits. Is he going to get this done? Try around the outside of turn 4. No, backs out of that one. Thinks better of it. Mario Stanic really giving this a good go here. He's got a couple of laps left to do this. Alejandro's just started lap 23 of 26, so 4 to go. Might not need a couple of laps. He's going to have a look up the inside now. Ooh, narrowly. Great respect from Mohamed Ramsey there. Just drove his line. This is a fantastic fight between these two. Lurking in the background, Lorenzo Hader's getting closer to the pair of them as well. So this is great to see. That is a car in the pit lane. That is Tyler Klausch, who's sadly now a lap down. But it's seat time and experience for him in these cars that he can take from this. This is on board Stanic's view, down towards turn 3 as he's heading after Mohamed Ramsey one more time. at 23 of 26. So 3 and a bit to go because Sanchez probably getting close to that last sector. Lorenzo's coming into this fight now. Lorenzo might fancy a top 10 and a chance to have a go at Mohamed Ramzi. Here's Augustin Torlachi. This is for 7th and 6th. Sinan on the grass a little bit there. Compromised his exit. And Sinan already goes defensive early out the final corner. So he knows Augustin's now a huge threat. And here comes Augustin, going to look to the outside of turn 1. We've seen this move a few times today. He's done it before turn 1. So Augustin moves up to P6 over Sinan Demirbas. We're a little behind Yannick. There's Yannick, bottom of your screen, who's got some time back to Angelo Mikel. Stanic getting closer to Ramsey once again. And I believe the top 3 is probably locked in. But anything can happen with 3 laps to go. Mario Stanic following Mohamed Ramzi. Lorenzo Hayder is now in this fight as well. His brother Joshua is still on the back of Valverde. Excuse me. So what can Mario Stanic do? Has he got one more attack in him? Still time up, 25 of 26. Alejandro has just started. So he's going on to the penultimate lap. This is Lorenzo Hayder, who's getting closer to the pair of them. Oh, he's not now. Drops the rear just as we change the camera. Lorenzo Hayder's dropped the rear. And onto the grass he goes. That has put to bed a top 10 result. He got overtaken as well by Timothy Spearson there. What a shame. Was really on a charge was Lorenzo Hayder. And just as we changed camera angles, the rear went on him. Sinan trying to up back down after Augustin Torlachi. Alejandro over 6 seconds in the lead of this race. Looks pretty comfortable. He's coming to the back end of the lap to 25 of 26. This is Lorenzo Hayder. Look, just gets too much on the curb and the car just doesn't want it. It doesn't react the way it wanted to. Too much curb for the car. And around went Lorenzo. Here's Siro Zambra, who's got a little closer now to Enrique Marañon. I don't think he's close enough unless he's got a lot of push to pass in the locker. He's not got enough in him on the final lap of this race to do anything. He's got to have some push to pass to get close enough to have a challenge. But he'll take a P3. It's still a day to the Red Bull Ring for Siro. It's more track time in the real world for Siro. And for Enrique Marañon, who managed to do a Scari after coming second in the Spring Event 1. So it is Sanchez from Marañon from Siro Zambra. Your top 3 provisionally to take the prize of a track day to the Red Bull Ring. As they come into the carousel for the final time. This is Enrique Marañon we're on board with. But this man is your race leader and is about to be your race winner. He's put not a foot wrong. 2 lights to flags victories today, 1 for Simon de Mori and the 2nd for this man. He comes round the final corner now, and Alejandro Sánchez lights to flag. It is a 2nd track day for him. He wins here at Road America from that of Enrique Marañon, who will come home second place and sets the fastest lap of the race. And then it will be Siro Zambra P3. That is a great drive from Alejandro Sánchez. Siro takes third, Enrique Marañon takes second. That man can be very happy and can take another track day experience with him. Siro looks the most happy out of the three of them at the moment. We've not seen Enrique Marañon yet, but Siro looks the man who's the most pleased with that. And we'll get to speak with our top three in a few moments' time. There is Enrique Marañon. Just another day in the office for the two Spaniards. Siro Zambra felt like he's worked really hard for that, it looks like there. But Enrique Marañon and Alejandro Sánchez, job done for the top three. Phenomenal drive from that man there on screen. Phenomenal drive from Alejandro Sánchez. Absolutely fantastic. From the top three, all of them. Great work from all in the race. There's Melvin just giving Siro a high five. But what a race it was. It was all done at the start. Marañon got a good launch, but it was that second face from Alejandro that put him in the lead into turn one. And you saw the Spanish cars really trying to charge up the inside line at 1 and 2, but it wasn't to be for all of them. This was a crazy move from one of the Zurich drivers down the field, trying to split two of the Munich cars. It didn't work. And again, more dramas. That was Lorenzo Hayder putting a car off. Bottom end of the circuit. And the push to pass was just so effective today. So many straights where the drivers could use that push to pass. Great moves around the outside of turn one. We've seen them moves all day and they've been fantastic. That was a huge moment for Mario Stanic. Did well not to put that in the wall. This is a great move up the inside. Great respect from both drivers. You're seeing Siro live feed outside the cockpit. Melvin there giving him a high five and just chatting to him. Yannick Pletcher, great buddies these two. High fives all around. Again, another look at turn three. That's where the moves was done. This was Torlachi going around the outside of Hayder. And he had that move complete before the braking zone of turn three. Hayder could do nothing about him. And this is Valverde doing the same thing on the push to pass. And on a track like Road America with such long straights, it's so easy to use the push to pass to its full effect. Great move up the inside at turn three once again. That was really the main overtaking spot of the day. Down the hill into the braking zone. Getting up the inside. If it wasn't there, it was around the outside of turn one, but that was a move up the inside from Hayder on Spearson. This is Stanic trying to go around the outside of three on Mohamed Ramsey. He got the move done just within the track limits. It was the grey curve that was being used for that. Fantastic day of racing throughout. And then this was Lorenzo Hayder on the curb, losing it all on his own. But what a day of racing that was. What a day of battles it was as well. And we can speak with our third place man, Siro Zambra. Siro, a third place. It is potentially another track day when race control look at all the results. You must be very pleased with yourself.
Yes, I'm very happy, Matthew. It was a good race. I lacked a bit of pace. I could have gone maybe a bit faster, but yeah, I mean, in the end, P3, I can't complain. Well,
And this is great preparation for yourself, Siro. Looking forward to the season starting in September, that you can try and maybe look at taking a top 3 and have a championship push.
Yes, I'm really looking forward to the season. It's gonna be a good one. I think I'll practice during summer, so maybe I can close the gap to Alejandro, and we will see. I will fight for sure. I will fight this season.
Oh, I know you will fight this season, that's for sure. It's possibly, though, another track day to go with your time you've done at Prodigy last year. You must be delighted to be getting these more of these chances in the real cars.
Yes, I mean, I want to be a real race driver, so practicing in the sims to get opportunities in real life. And yeah, I'm very pleased with the result, and to go to the Red Bull Ring. It's an amazing track, and I'm really looking forward also to maybe go with other drivers like Klausch, one of my team members. Exactly.
Exactly, Siro. Well, congratulations. Provisional P3 at the moment, and well done. We hope to see more of a challenge from you come the championship. We can, though, speak with Enrique Marañon now, who was P2 on the circuit. Enrique, similar really to Spring Event 1, you just wasn't close enough to Alejandro, but was comfortable P2.
Yeah, well, I wasn't pushing a lot because, yeah, after the turn 1 with Siro, I lost like 3 seconds, so it was going to be impossible to catch Alejandro. So, yeah, I was trying to do 32.1, 32.2 every lap. And yeah, B2, I'm really happy.
Really happy with that. You, like you say, you lost a couple of seconds to Siro early on in the race. You had to get back past him. A track where we've seen quite a few overtakes and push to pass be very effective.
Yeah, well, as you said, push to pass very effective, but when I overtook Siro, I think I didn't use it. So also the slipstream was really useful. And yeah, after that I was pushing, and yeah, again a really good P2. So.
Really good P2. Now you've been to Ascari, you've had the track day there, the chance to possibly go to the Red Bull Ring. That's a great opportunity for yourself.
Yeah, I enjoyed a lot at Ascari, and I hope I also enjoyed a lot at the Red Bull Ring.
Indeed, Enrique, congratulations on provisional P2. We'll see you later in the season where you will see what kind of a challenge you can put on this season, because I'm looking forward to watching yourself.
Yeah, I'm also looking forward to the season. Thank you.
Congratulations, and we will get Alejandro in at the change of headset so we can speak with Alejandro, who 1 week ago was a part of the Nordschleife 24-hour for Team Apex. Now he's race winner here at Racing Unleashed yet again, and can take home that prize of the Red Bull Ring. Track day, Alejandro, it's another spring event race wing to go with Ascari. You must be very delighted.
Yeah, quite happy with the race I drove. I knew it was key in the beginning to stay ahead and to break free from the draft, so that's why I used like 2 push to passes at the beginning, and I just stayed away from trouble, built a good gap in the first couple of laps, and in the end it was just a matter of managing the gap. There was like 8 push to passes. I knew Enrique probably had more, so it was just a matter of getting a good cushion of lap time and just staying ahead. Luckily didn't do any mistakes, so yeah. Quite happy with the race I drove and quite happy to win it.
Very similar to 2 months ago, Alejandro, where we go to Spring Event 1. You and Enrique kind of, you know, you got the better start, managed to keep a hold of the gap and use that to your advantage later on in the race.
Yeah, it was basically the same, other than the fact that I started P1 this time and the other time it was P2. And I didn't actually have to battle anyone this time, so quite glad. I knew people were probably going to be aggressive at the beginning, so I just wanted to stay away from any kind of trouble, which is, yeah, I knew if I stayed ahead in the first lap and built a good gap, it was just a matter of not crashing. At the end of the day, I knew our pace was good.
Now, another road trip, another man who got a track day at Ascari. You now get the chance to go to the Red Bull Ring. Are you looking forward to that? Obviously, another fantastic prize from Racing Unleashed that you've managed to get your hands on.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. I don't really know when I will manage to go, but in the end, it's another really nice experience and quite an enjoyable one. I really love the Scary, so I'm really looking forward to going to Red Bull Ring.
And just finally, Alejandro, the season starts in September. You're obviously one of the favourites with Michael Schmidl for the championship. It's going to be a tough year, though, with Siro and Enrique seem to be upping their pace this year. It could be a couple of drivers in the mix for it. Are you ready for September, or is there still more work to do?
There's probably going to be a lot of work to do because usually I only practice for like 5 days. I probably will need to take it a lot more seriously, knowing the competition that is upon us. But in the end, it's another format again and other simulators, hopefully. So everyone will be on a fresh sheet. So like everyone has to adapt really quickly. So as soon as I can, I'll probably start practicing, definitely.
Indeed. Well, Alejandro, congratulations on the provisional P1 and enjoy the prize that comes with it. Congratulations to yourself.
Thank you very much.
Alejandro Sánchez, Enrique Marañon and Siro Zambra, your top 3 provisionally in this Racer League race. We can, though, take a look at the fantastic prize that the drivers have just got their hands on. Absolutely fantastic prize that the drivers have just won there and managed to get their hands on today. What an event it has been, but that comes to an end of our spring events. It's been very enjoyable, the esports event with spring event 1 and 2 for our Racing Unleashed drivers. Ends the end of the simulators for now. We are back in September where the championship will be underway. Calendar to be announced. I do believe, as Alejandro said there, the new version 2 simulators rolled out with the racing lounges. I do believe that will all be confirmed later in the year as well, which means it could be a step into the unknown for these drivers. We will see going forward. It's back to iRacing next week for the Spa race in the Toyota GR86 cars. Heavy rain will be the car and weather setting for that one. Make sure you get signed up for that. Make sure you're involved in that one as well. That'll be at the later time of the afternoon to evening time here in the UK and in Europe. So we hope to see you all there for that one. But that is all we have time for here in the spring events. It's been absolutely fantastic. A pleasure to see the machinery sign off in such a good way. And they'll be back in September fighting for the championship. Goodbye.
just wanna